8-man Division II state championship game. It's a rematch between Baileyville B&B Falcons and the Thunder Ridge Longhorns. From Fisher Field in Newton, I'm Jeremy McGuire along with Larry Jansen. Larry, a rematch of a game last year that Thunder Ridge won pretty easily, 46-14, but a new year and I think a new mission for two teams.
Well, last year, of course, you know, Baileyville, they had about 5 of their main starters hurt, their quarterback and that running back, Ingleton, Mitch. And now they're all healthy this year. It's a different thing. They have 17 lettermen back, 4 starters on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. So for them, and they've really dedicated from this game last year when they come up short. They're 24-1 in these last 2 years. The only one they lost was that game last year to Thunder Ridge here, like you just mentioned. So that would be their side of it, and they're just grateful. Heck, it's tough for any school at any level to get back anything 2 times in a row for the state title, and they're back again. The Falcons are tough. All the seniors this year have been there every year in the title game, and then of course you look at Thunder Ridge, and they're reckoned with too. They all lost the first game of the year, and then they've been on a roll. They rolled everybody else under.
5th year in a row that B&B has been here. We mentioned 2nd year in a row for Thunder Ridge. The wind's going to be blowing a little bit today. What do you expect to see out of these 2 ball clubs offensively?
It's almost going to be like the old Smith Center Air Barta, ha-ha. There won't be much in the air, probably, at least by the Thunder Ridge. They've only thrown 47 passes all year long, so they're averaging in 12 games less than 4. 3 to 4 passes a game is all they do. They'll use it as a strictly element of surprise, Coach Voorhees will. So it's going to be try to get low, middle up front, to do a little counterplay, do some ISOs. They're going to be trying to smash them out and win the line of scrimmage is what Thunder Ridge will do. And I got a feeling they'll see the Falcons put the ball in the air more. They're both it's going to be a fast-paced game, a lot of running by both teams. They hope that they can control the line of scrimmage. But at least B&B, they've got a better passing attack where they do it more frequently.
Dustin Rottinghouse got really thrust into action last year for that state championship game. Justin Cope really feels that his quarterback's matured a lot, gotten better, and should be in a better place getting ready for this game today.
You're absolutely right, and of course he was a sophomore because Eric got hurt last year, so he's thrown into the spotlight that way. So, yeah, the whole team they just excelled in like I said, 17 lettermen. I mean, there's a lot of kids a lot of teams don't even have 17 on their roster hardly. So it'll be a slobber knocker hit today, I think. A heck of a game.
It should be a fun one. From Fisher Field in Newton, it's the 8-man Division II state championship game. The Baileyville B&B Falcons and the Thunder Ridge Longhorns. We'll have more from Newton after this. And welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton. We're now joined by the head coach of the Baileyville B&B Falcons, Justin Cope. And Coach, first of all, congratulations. You guys are making it happen being here in Newton for the state championship game.
Well, you know, I wish that was always so easy to get here, but it's not. So, yeah, it's been a pleasure to get back to 5 in a row. These kids have worked hard to get back to this moment.
Talk about the key to your guys this season. You came back with 4 starters back on both sides of the football and found a way to put it together. You beat your rival Hanover twice, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs to get here. What have you guys done right to get to this point?
You know, I think it all started actually right here on this field last year. We graduated a good senior class, and our juniors understood that a lot of those guys had to step in because of injuries last year, and they made a commitment from that point on to get better, and every team says that. And then we travel, and we knew we had to get better right away because we opened up going down to Madison. So, you know, we found out what we were made of right away from the get-go, and so we knew exactly what we needed to work on after that game, and I thought we've improved each and every week. In fact, I think our offense really hasn't started perking and playing at the best and peaking, you might say, until the playoffs. So hopefully we can give it a good show today.
You mentioned a good word there is you guys dealt with injuries last year. Not such a good word at the time, but this year you guys come in pretty healthy. How much better does that make your team be in full force?
Well, you know how it is that any time that you're in your comfort zone, you feel better. And so last year we had some guys stepping out of their comfort zone and trying to play, you know, out of position a little bit. And this year, whether it's good or bad or whether it's a strength, but the one thing is that the kids feel confident and the kids are put in a place where they can be successful. And so that's the thing we're excited about, is that we're healthy and everybody can come out and give it their best effort.
Keys to beating Thunder Ridge today?
Oh man, being physical. These boys are physical up front. It is a typical Thunder Ridge and Jerry Voorhees coach team. I mean, they're going to knock you around up front, and we've got to do something to slow them down a little bit up front there. And then, you know, you've got Trevor Lowe, who is an outstanding runner, and he ran for 150 plus against us out here last year. And so we've got a key on him and limit him to the big plays, you might say. He's going to get his because he's such a north and south type runner. So we've just got to find a way to limit him today.
Coach, good luck today, and let's see if you can come away with another state title.
You bet. We'll try our best. Thanks a lot.
That's head coach Justin Cope with the Baileyville B&B Falcons. When we come back, we'll talk with Thunder Ridge head coach Jerry Voorhees. This is Jeremy McGuire from Fisher Field in Newton. Welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton. Jeremy McGuire now joined by the head coach of the Thunder Ridge Longhorns, Jerry Voorhees. And Coach, back-to-back state championship games got to feel pretty good for you and your squad.
Yeah, it does. Just a great group of kids. After everything we lost, I don't know if anybody really expected us to get back here, but kids have played extremely well. I don't know if I've been around a group that plays harder than this group of kids, but tremendous challenge here today against B&B, but we'll see what happens.
You guys had two starters returning. You open up against Rock Hills and got thumped pretty good. What happened from the end of that game to now to get you guys to this point?
Well, I just kind of told our kids, last year's over. We're not going to win any games off last year's team. And we really challenged our kids. We made some personnel changes, and we just went back to work. And, I said we just got to get better every day and every week. And I think that has been, you talk about that all the time, but I think you've been visually been able to see us get better every week, and I think that's a real credit to our kids.
Trevor Lowe really had a coming out party in the playoffs, and especially in the championship game last year. How much has his emergence helped your team in the running game and opening things up?
Yeah, Trevor's just such a hard worker, and he runs the football so hard. And our kids up front do a great job blocking for him because they know he runs so hard. But Trevor's a great leader for us, tremendous worker, and a big part of our football team.
What are the keys to victory today for your squad?
Well, we got to find some way to slow their run game down. The Dieters kid, I don't know if we've seen a back that runs as hard as he does. And then we got to find a way to get some pressure on the Riding House kid. He's a real good quarterback, got a good live arm, throws the ball very well. If you give him time, he's going to pick you apart. So we got to find a way to get some pressure on him. We'll have to play very well defensively. And then offensively, we got to take care of the football and try to move the chains and control the ball.
Coach, good luck today against B&B.
All right, thank you, Jeremy.
That's head coach Jerry Voorhees of the Thunder Ridge Longhorns. We'll have more from Fisher Field and Newton when we come back.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
And welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton. Jeremy McGuire back along with Larry Jantz as they announce the teams right now as the B&B Falcons are getting things taken care of right now. Larry, a lot going through the minds of these kids right now. They're thinking game plans. They're thinking, okay, what are we going to do? They're thinking, back to the fundamentals when they first started playing football, and an experience like it is today is unlike any other.
Even though both teams been here last year, a whole new group, more pieces to the puzzle, and they'll all be nervous until about that first hit, and then they'll both be physical and try to determine which team is going to control the line of scrimmage.
A little bit windy today. That wind coming out of the south here at Fisher Field in Newton. I know we talked a little bit about it, but is that something that you think about as far as play calling at this point, or you continue calling the game like you would have whether there's wind or no wind?
Well, for Baileyville B&B Falcons, it might be a factor to them because if they throw a ball to their left, which would be against that wind, it might flutter with them a little bit. And it could cause the ball to kind of rise a little bit. But it's not going to hurt the Thunder Ridge Longhorns, I guarantee you that. They only pass the ball 3 or 4 times a game, Jeremy, so that's not going to be a factor for the Longhorns.
Thunder Ridge fans pretty excited as they start to announce their team over here on the near side. Let's look at the path that these two teams took to get to the state title game. First, for the B&B Falcons, they opened up with the 55-8 win over Gossel in the first round, and then they took on Caldwell, a 6-4 team that surprised Waverly in the first round, beating Waverly 50-36. B&B, no problems with Caldwell winning that game 40-8-0, and then it was time for a rematch. Week in October 19th at Hanover, B&B beat them 52-46. Close ball game.
2 overtimes.
They rematched in the sub-state championship game a week ago, a game that B&B won by a score of 50-20. So an impressive win. So they've taken out some really good opponents. You look at Madison, week 1, a playoff team. Pretty Prairie, week 3, a playoff team. Hanover, October 19th, we just mentioned, a playoff team. And then, of course, Gossel, Caldwell, and Hanover again, a playoff team. So they have been a tested football team coming into this ball game, playing some good squads.
But I'll tell you what, in week 7, the week before they played Hanover the first time, they played Southern Coffee County. They won that 48-0, but guess what? The game only started at 9 o'clock p.m. There's a lightning delay. Those kids got home about 3 o'clock or so in the morning, Coach Cope told me. And then the next week, his grandpa passed away, and that's not going to be an excuse. He's not going to say that. But it was a factor because the coaches weren't around to do the proper game plan, and that's not taking anything and run from Matt Hauer and those Hanover Wildcats. But that was a factor that they didn't prepare for him all that well, so they regrouped, did more film study and everything else. So second time around in the playoffs, like you say, sub-state finals last week, that's when the Falcons really studied the game film on all that they had on Hanover, and that's probably the reason why you saw the difference in the final score, 50-20, to get the right to be here today.
Now let's look at the how Thunder Ridge got to the state title game. They opened against Weston, a score 58-12. And then Otis Bison, a really good Otis Bison team. The Cougars had rolled up on Rolla in the opening round 54-0. Both teams came into that game with a 9-1 record, and Thunder Ridge came away with the 28-18 victory, a close ball game in that one. And then to Sharon Springs, Wallace County, head coach Kevin Ayers. He has been through the playoff ring several times down in Jetmore and also at Sharon Springs, and Thunder Ridge came away with a 44-22 victory, which brought them to where they are at today in the state title game against the B&B Falcons. You look at Thunder Ridge's season. It started off a little rocky, no pun intended, as they lost to Rock Hill 62-16. That's not just a loss, that is a pounding. But with only 2 starters returning, Coach Voorhees talked about it just a little bit ago, Larry. That was kind of an eye-opener for his team to think, you know what, last season's over with. It's over with. That's not going to win us any ball games this year, and I think that really got this team focused and ready to play.
Well, they went, like he said, they went back to work, did work on the fundamentals, and that's how Voorhees learned as a kid, and that's what he's going to do, work on fundamentals. That's when we're going to get better. And so that's what happened, and they run the table since then. And yeah, you said Sharon Springs earlier, the championship game to get here, 44-22. It was 36-0 at one time in that ball game when I was watching it there on the sideline. And, they won the game, Sharon Springs did, and in 2007, Kevin Ayers, head coach, his second year out there in the Wildcat country, and he won the state championship and by halftime over South Haven, I believe, that year. And then prior to that, coaching at Jetmore, and that Hodgman County team that he had was incredible.
And now, right now, the teams are at midfield for the coin toss.
By referee Mike Folk.
It is a heads, and so we will see how Thunder Ridge wants to make things happen as they won the toss. Cade Dennis, Garrett Kruger, Trevor Lowe out, Curtis Stahlbomber, Dustin Dieters, Jason Haverkamp. So B&B wins the toss. They defer to the second half. They're going to give the ball to Thunder Ridge to start this ball game. Let's look at your starters for Thunder Ridge offensively. They'll start like this. Their 2 ends will be 21 Greg Yoxel, 170-pound senior, and 10 Derek Reed, a 189-pound junior. The guards, 48 Benton Raby, a 228-pound junior, and Chandler Hoskins, a 223-pound senior. The center, Kate Dennis, number 56, 218-pound senior. Starting quarterback for Thunder Ridge is Garrett Kruger, a 165-pound junior. Fullback Trevor Lowe, a 204-pound senior, and behind him is number 30 Trent Ritzke, 155-pound sophomore. For the Baileyville B&B Falcons defensively, defensive ends Blake Blake Reinecke, number 22, a 6'3", 190-pound senior. Jason Haverkamp, 6'3", 180-pound senior, number 10 on the other side. Nose guard, one of the best names in football, Curtis Stahlbaumer, a 6'5", 230-pound senior. Linebackers, outside, number 85, Cole Dieters, a 5'10", 155-pound junior. The other outside backer, Dustin Dieters, number 25, a 5'10", 180-pound senior. Derek Muting is the middle linebacker, the 5'9", 185-pound sophomore. The safeties, 20, David Mackey, a 5'11", 165-pound senior. And Tyler Dieters, number 4, 6'1", 170-pound senior. We are set and ready for kickoff. Reinecke will put it in the air. Yoxel back deep to receive it for Thunder Ridge, and that ball is deep into the end zone, and it will be first down and 10 for Thunder Ridge at the 15-yard line. And that's another part of a team's ball game, Larry, is if they can kick the ball into the end zone, you don't give those fast and powerful backs for Thunder Ridge a chance to return it. First down and 10 from the 15.
Because each team, Jeremy, of course, they love to get those speed merchants out there in wide open spaces so they come to the track meet on a gridiron.
High formation, Kruger the quarterback. Low and Ritzky behind him. It's going to be Ritzky on the first carry, and he is going to slide across the 15. Brought down by Tyler Dieters, a pickup of 2, maybe 3 on the play. It's going to bring up second down, and we're going to call it 8 yards.
Ball carried by Ritzky.
And bringing in the play there, of course, is they bring Kruger came over there to get the next play from Coach Voorhees, so we're going to bring up that second 8 down, Jeremy.
Second down and 8, and B&B will bring 7 men in the box. They know that Thunder Ridge wants to run the football today. It is low, and he is hit immediately. He's going to lose a yard on the play. Dustin Dieters in on the tackle. It will bring up third down and 9, and boy, Dustin Dieters, a 5'10", 180-pound senior, came slicing in from his outside linebacker position.
He does a great job. He's had 75 tackles for the whole year and even 2 fumble recoveries. And, of course, he's one of their main guns when he's running the ball, too, on offense, and here he is sticking it to him as a linebacker.
So third down and 9, not the position that Thunder Ridge wants to be in. Third and long, we'll see if they throw it. It's going to be Kruger. He goes to the right side. He is going to be wrapped up. Derek Muting brings him down. A pickup on the play of maybe 2 yards. It'll bring up fourth down and 7. A good defensive stand by the Falcons, Larry.
Absolutely, and of course that's part of their keys is know where number 12 is at all the times and get them into third and long situations, which they are right now, and allow no big plays. That's the 3 main keys Coach Cope had for the Falcons.
So fourth down and 3, Kruger to punt it away. Brendan Bergman is back deep, and that was a bad snap, but B&B setting up for the return, and Kruger gets it off, and it is going to be great field position at the 37-yard line to Thunder Ridge for B&B. So first down and 10 from the 37. Not a good punt, and the defense for Thunder Ridge is going to be backed up as the punt is on the Longhorn side of the football field.
Well, when the bounce off the turf, you remember how the old pigskin is going to bounce, and Garrett Kruger had a tough time picking it up. But here we go, first, and it's got an unbalanced line to the left.
First down and 10. It is going to be a give up the middle. That's going to go to Dustin Dieters, the offensive lineman from a year ago. He is a tough runner. Jerry Voorhees spoke of him. That's a pickup of 3 on first down.
He averages 6.4 yards per carry. He's had 148 carries for the year for 952 yards. Only needing 48 yards to get over the 1,000-yard deal and 17 touchdowns for the year so far.
So second down and 3. Dieters is the lone back. He's going to get it again. He goes off the right side. He is going to be brought down on the play by Chandler Hoskins. A pickup of 4 yards on the play. It'll bring up third down and 3. So B&B moving the ball a little bit more effectively on the ground.
So far, the line of scrimmage is getting a little bit better push over the Longhorns than what we saw in the first series for Thunder Ridge. Now they come out in their spread. Twins to the left.
Third and 3, Rottinghouse in the shotgun formation. He will throw. He has time, looks, throws, catch is made. Haug at the 25-yard line. He picks up 6 yards and a first down.
Don't see any laundry on the field, so it's going to be move the sticks for the old chain gang and keep the drive going. Be 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line of Thunder Ridge.
So far, B&B using the running game and the passing game. Jerry Voorhees spoke of it, that you can't give Rottinghouse a lot of time back there to throw the ball because he'll pick you apart. There's case in point right there. 2 to the near side, Dieters to the far side. Haug is in motion. It is going to be a roll to the right. Rottinghouse looking, throws, has Haug again inside the 20. He is down to the 19-yard line, so a 6-yard pickup on first down. It will bring up 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, that was a good little play action pass by there. And Laramie Boyle, 170-pound sophomore for Thunder Ridge, middle linebacker, made that tackle. But after he made 5 yards, so 2nd and 5.
2nd down, and they're going to call it 4, just inside the 20-yard line. There's a give up the middle, not much going right there. It was Dieters again, Boyle in there. Also coming up to make the tackle is Cade Dennis.
Chandler Hoskins wrapped him up first, number 41, a 223-pound senior. He's had 58 tackles for the year, 1 fumble recovery, 1 sack, and kind of kept him there for no gain that time. Chandler Hoskins and his buddies from the Longhorns wrapped him up.
3rd down and 4. We'll see if B&B is going to throw it or if they're going to try a quarterback keeper here. Rottinghouse has a man in motion. It's Bergman to the near side. Time to throw. Now chased. He's going to dump it out. It is caught by Haug. Close to the goal line. He's going to be out at the 1. Wow, what a improvisation by Rottinghouse as he flipped it out to Haug, who made the catch down to the 1-yard line.
That's one of the toughest plays to see coming your way if you're a safety back or a cornerback, because you don't know if the quarterback's going to tuck it and run all the way or just dump it over.
So 1st and goal from just inside the 1. It is going to be Dieters. He's pushing forward, still on his feet, and powers into the end zone for the Falcon touchdown.
Yeah, that was a great job there. He had no quitting that there Falcon that time. Dustin Dieters just was not going to be denied. So that's his 18th touchdown for the year.
So from 1 yard out, Dustin Dieters, 4 carries, 8 yards, and a touchdown on the first drive of the ball game for the B&B Falcons, and they lead it by a score of 6-0. And this time it's Rottinghouse up the middle, leans in, 2-point conversion is good. So with 7:21 to go in the first quarter, it was B&B going 37 yards on Thunder Ridge, and with the 2-point conversion, it's 8-0. And boy, a good answer by that Falcon Ball Club, ranked number 1 in the state.
Well, and it was just great. They had good field position to start with, which is always a key. And all started because of that low snap that Garrett Kruger had a tough job handling.
You see right there as Dieters powers into the end zone, he was made contact about a yard deep in the backfield, but continued to push forward and got it into the end zone. And I think that this B&B squad really hungry for a win this year.
It almost reminded you of what Trevor Lowe did last year on the same end zone, wasn't it? Remember that when they stopped him and then he kept on going. It was a bulldozer, and he bulldozed his way right to the end zone.
So B&B with the 8-0 lead. Couple first downs on that drive, both of them on passing. Haug had 3 receptions for 30 yards. And Reineke's kick is going to be not returnable. Is it out of bounds? It is a touchback. It is a touchback, not by much. So it will be 1st down and 10 from the 15 again for Thunder Ridge. And you know, at time the offense for Thunder Ridge didn't do much last time. They really need to move the ball this possession.
Yeah, they don't want any more of those 3 and outs. Coach Voorhees will. You might have to mix it up a little bit earlier than what he really wanted to kind of get them off balance, because when you only pass 47 times for the whole year, they know they're going to load the box on you.
And it only makes sense. So you're going to be going up against 6, 7, 8 guys in the box. They'll split a guy to the near side. It's a pitch out to Lowe. Tries to cut it back. Makes one man miss, and that's it. A host of Falcons there. David Mackey, Cameron Haug, Tyler Dieters there for the Falcons. A gain of about a half a yard on the play. We're going to call it 2nd down and 10.
not much gain in there at all, was it? Just a lot of play action, a little low pitch play time, and just no place to go. So Haug on defense, number 45, did a great job.
One step back, that is low. Boyle is into the lineup. He is an end on the right side. It's going to be low again. He goes left, continues to fight, won't give up, and finally something positive. The Longhorns to pick up on the play of nearly 5 yards for Trevor Lowe. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
And I don't know if they have a play action pass. They're probably going to come in here and play maybe a little option play. See if they can get around the corners, get some of their speed out in the open field. Wind's having an effect
blowing
on
the
that
football away.
Football. Yeah, so umpire Tom King had come back in and respot it.
And we got officials are going to reset the play clock. And Thunder Ridge will go back in the huddle and reset and consider what they want to do with this play. Ritzky had split to the near side. Looks like they're going to come out the same way. So 3rd down and 5 from the 20. Thunder Ridge trailing 8-0, 5:58 and counting here in this first quarter. Kruger's got an option carry to the left, and he is going to be hit and dropped. Reineke there to lead the charge. Stahlbaumer coming in. Also coming in on the play was Cole Dieters. A lot of people there for B&B. That's a loss of a couple on the play. It's 4th down and another punting situation for Thunder Ridge.
They smelled out that option play in there because Derek Kruger faked it to Trevor Lowe and tried to keep it. And as you saw the results there, lost yards on it, 4th down and about 8.
And that's going to be a false start. It's going to be called against Thunder Ridge as they got ready to punt the football away. That was Noah Billings on the right side. Looked like he might have.
Procedure. Blue.
Might have
5-yard penalty.
Early, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 12.
You got referee Mike Polk and umpire Tom King. Rodney Palin is linesman. His brother Byron Palin is the line judge. And then you got Ronnie Timbrink as our back judge.
There's a snap back to Kruger. He gets it away. Another off-balance punt that's going to roll out of bounds at the 33-yard line. It's going to be great field position again for B&B. And you're seeing what the kicking game on kickoffs, Penn and Thunder Ridge back at their 15, and the Longhorns' inability on their first 2 drives to move the football has given B&B possession inside the 40 once again.
But throughout this year, Jeremy, probably neither team's ever had to punt very much.
It is going to be Ridinghouse on the keeper, goes right side, breaks a tackle. He's down the sidelines, inside the 10, and finally pushed out of bounds by Lowe inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Falcons.
It's a great read, a little option read by him, and he faked to the back and kept it and went right off guard between it and the end, and then, of course, get out to the sideline and made it run.
27-yard run. They mark him at the 6-yard line, and like you said, Larry, he read that one all the way, split to the outside, broke a tackle from the sophomore linebacker Boyle, and he was on his horse.
They're tough to get down if you don't wrap them up, and they're not going to come down easy. You're not going to arm tackle these boys.
It is going to be Bergman. He's into the end zone for the B&B touchdown. 5:02 to go, first quarter. It is 14-0. I'll tell you what, here in the early going, it has been all B&B Falcons. And it looks like Derek Reed is down on the field.
And he is a tough, fast little scat back for them Thunder Ridge guys. He's had 41 tackles for the year, 3 interceptions, 2 of them in the game against Sharon Springs, and 2 sacks for the year. The 189-pound junior. Hope he's going to be all right and be able to continue because he's a good spark plug. He got a lot of speed, that boy does.
So right now Reed is down on the field. They are checking him out. There's a timeout on the field. We'll take it with you with 5:02 to go here in the first quarter. It's B&B 14, Thunder Ridge nothing. And welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton. Derek Reed is up and coming off the field on his own power. Don Weens beside him, head coach Jerry Voorhees, and assistant coach Brent Overmiller as well. So it will be a 2-point conversion coming here for the B&B Falcons. Curtis Stahlbaumer will hover over the ball with Rottinghouse right behind him. Also Dieters back there. And it is going to be Dustin Dieters. He is in for the 2-point conversion. I tell you what, the B&B Falcons are making it look easy here in the early going with 5:02 to go in the first quarter. It is already 16-0 B&B.
Yeah, they when you hit that short field and then you take advantage of it, why you see the result. So it's 16-0 so far for the Falcons and B&B, and a little retaliation. And even though they don't want to think about last year, they got a little revenge on their mind, whether they say it or not.
Well, let's see what Thunder Ridge can do. They have amounted to not much offensively. They have 6 yards of total offense in their first drive. You look around on the other side for the B&B Falcons. They have 41 yards on the ground, 30 yards in the air, so they've went 71 yards so far here in the early going, and it's showing as they lead it by a score of 16-0 with 5:02 to go here in the first quarter.
How many total plays in both series? Less than 10, huh? Less than 10 plays.
And the ball blows off the tee. So far it's been 6 plays for Thunder Ridge, 9 plays for B&B.
Well, Blake's had 2 balls that go into the end zone, hasn't he?
Using that winds out of the, mostly out of the south, a little bit out of the southwest, and boy, Reineke kicks that one. It checks up, and it's going to be covered by Thunder Ridge at the 16-yard line as Derek Reed came back into the ball game after being injured, and that ball just checked up like you're hitting a pitching wedge down there, and it's going to be the best starting field position for Thunder Ridge as they start at their own 16-yard line.
If you had your pitching wedge and playing golf like that, that had a lot of draw to the ball. I mean, it spun right back. But thank God Thunder Ridge Longhorn got on the ball because it was live for anybody.
Derek Reed came back and got it. So first down and 10 from the 16. Thunder Ridge needs something to go right for him, and it is a good run right there by Trevor Lowe. Cole Dieters in on the tackle, also Derek Muting up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. A pickup of 5 yards on the play.
Well, they went back into that pro set offense, you know. Got out of the old straight old I.
Kruger not feeling well today. Center Kate Dennis not feeling well, so they are out there toughing it out here in the state championship game. It is an option to the right side. The pitch to Lowe. He fumbles the football. He gets it back, but he's going to lose yardage. They're going to mark it back at about the 18, 17-yard line. Looks like about the 18, so a loss of 2 on the play. It'll bring up again 3rd down and long.
Yeah, before he got that ball secured in his hands, he was looking downfield to see which way he was going to be going, zigging and zagging, and how he's going to miss the wannabe tacklers and fumble the ball, and then the rest of the story is history. So long 3rd and 8 coming up, or 3rd and 9 almost.
3rd down and 8. They'll split 2 to the near side. It looks like looking for something down the field. Ritzky's open. He's got it at the 40. On the run, brought down at the 25-yard line, and Garrett Kruger is still down on the turf. He got pounded pretty good, but he is going to tough it out and come across. What a huge play that time for Thunder Ridge.
That's just what the doctor ordered. Thunder Ridge Longhorns needed after their spark. That's a great pill to swallow on that one there, and Risky did a great job. It looks similar to a play, except in the semifinal game against Sharon Springs, they had Trevor Lowe throw a pass very similar to that, and he got behind about 10 yards behind any of the D-backs, cornerbacks.
A 37-yard gain in the first down of the ball games for the Longhorns, and some life into their blood. It's going to be Lowe. Goes left side. He is gang tackled. Muting in on the tackle, also coming in was Cole Dieters. It will bring up 2nd down, and we're going to call it 8 yards, a pickup of 2 on the play.
Yeah, it's a great job there. That's a tough 2 yards you got on that play there with all that gang tackling by the Falcons.
Clock down to 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
You thought this game would be a fast game, but because everybody likes to run.
A little bit of a pistol formation. Yoxel comes up on the line of scrimmage. Reed is in the slot on the right side, and they give it to Lowe, and he is pushed back immediately. Stahlbaumer leading the charge. I'll tell you what, 6'5", 230 pounds of Curtis Stahlbaumer. Not easy to go through. A loss of 2 on the play, and third down and long again for Thunder Ridge.
Yeah, that there was the old pistol set, where they have split receivers and twins either left or right, and this way they had twins to the right-hand side, but they smelled it out, and then he, instead of passing the ball, tried to give it to Trevor Lowe. They're trying to spring their thoroughbred, and he's not getting loose yet.
So third down and 10. Lowe is the lone setback. He's going to get the carry again as he goes right side, and he is not going to get much, maybe 3 on the play. And Cole Dieters coming off the bottom of that pile again. He has been very active defensively here in the early going for the Falcons.
Yeah, number 85, 6 foot, 190-pound junior, Cole Dieters. Had 59 tackles for the year, 1 interception, and 3 fumble recoveries leading up to this game.
So fourth down, and Thunder Ridge is going to go for it. They need 8 yards. They need to get to the B&B 15-yard line. They got inside B&B territory with a 37-yard pass from Garrett Kruger to Trent Ritzke. Fourth down and 8. Kruger to throw again. Howe pressures him. Kruger in trouble. He is wrapped up, flips it up to Lowe. It's fumbled, and it's going to be, they're going to call it incomplete. Are they going to call it an incomplete pass, or is it going to be a fumble? Either way, it's going to be B&B football. They're going to call it an incomplete pass, and it is going to be first down and 10 at the B&B 23, 24-yard line. I'm going to mark it at about the 23. So first down and 10. Kruger tried to improvise again, and boy, this B&B defense extremely, extremely aggressive here in the early going.
Swarming like a bunch of bees, them Falcons are.
So first and 10 from the 23 for B&B. They're going to throw it again. Rottinghouse all kinds of time. He's under pressure, gets out of some pressure, and is upended by Lowe and finished off by Boyle up at the 24. Pickup of 1 yard on the play. And again, Rottinghouse with time to throw, but good coverage by Thunder Ridge in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, Thunder Ridge, that sophomore, Laramie Boyle did a great job. They started 3 seniors, 4 juniors, 1 sophomore, and that's kind of unusual. He's pretty a tough cookie to get in there.
So second down and 9. Coming up on 30 seconds to go. It's going to be an option to the left side. Bergman has it. He's brought down from behind. In on the play was Chandler Hoskins. No gain on the play. It is going to bring up third down and long for B&B, and likely the last play of this quarter.
That Brandon Bergman, number 7, that tailback, he's had pretty doggone good year. He's averaged 5.3 yards per carry. That's 89 carries for 484 yards, 11 touchdowns. He's also been on receiving end, a lot of passes, 24 of them, matter of fact, for 364 yards and 5 touchdowns.
And the first quarter clock has run dry. It has been all B&B Falcons so far here in the Division II state championship game. The Falcons 16, the Thunder Ridge Longhorns nothing. We'll be back with your second quarter after this timeout.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Hey, welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton. 16-0, the B&B Falcons in the 8-man Division II state championship game for the Kansas State High School Activities Association. It will be third down and 9. Jeremy McGuire along with color analyst Larry Jantz, and it was an all B&B first quarter, Larry.
Yeah, they owned it. Of course, they had 2 short fields. The last series, the first time they ever got the ball on their own side, start the series on it.
So here we go, third down and 9. The junior quarterback, Dustin Rottinghouse, the lone man in the backfield. as he will take the shotgun snap. It's a little shovel pass. It's going to be taken by Tyler Dieters. He has a first down across the 30 and brought down and around the 36-yard line. It's going to bring up, they'll mark it at the 35, a first down on a pickup of 11.
Yeah, Tyler Dieters is a 6'1", 180-pound junior, and he's averaged 19.7 yards per catch. There's a good example.
And a hurry-up offense for the Falcons. Bergman tripped and has brought down Cade Dennis there to help him to the turf. A pickup of about a yard on the play. It'll bring up second and a long 9.
Yeah, remember Bergman, he's had 89 carries for the year, 484 yards, 11 touchdowns, average a little over 5 yards per carry.
So second down and 9. This time it's Dieters coming near side. He's wrapped up. Boyle, the first one there, and then he gets some help coming in. Trevor Lowe was there also. First time we've heard Benton Raby's name, and a loss of 2 on the play.
Now, number 48, Benton Raby's had 39 tackles for the year, 4 fumble recoveries, 2 sacks, and it took several Longhorns to bring him down that time. That's how tough that Dustin Dieters is.
So third down and 11. Trent Ritzke will come in and replace Hoskins at the nose guard position.
This first time had third and long for the Falcons, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Last time they converted on third down, it was the shovel pass. It was 3rd and 9. This is 3rd and 11. Back to pass Rottinghouse under a little pressure. That ball hangs up. Dieters is out there. Can't get underneath of it. Incomplete. It's 4th down. Boy, I tell you what, Dustin Dieters was open, but Rottinghouse just hung that ball out there too far, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 11.
There's not a cloud in the sky, but I thought he was trying to bring rain with as much arch he had on that ball. Huh?
Yeah, I bet you if he could have that back, he would really like it, because he had a touchdown to number 25, Dustin Dieters, if he puts that one on the mark.
That's right. But Derek Reed was jumping up in the air and made him launch that ball a little higher than they normally would, doesn't he?
Thunder Ridge is guarding against the fake as Rottinghouse was back to punt. Gets a snap. He is going to soccer style it, or rugby style. Ritzke takes it at the 17. Goes to the right side. Howe gets a hand on him, can't bring him down. Ritzke across the 25. He gets pounded out of bounds on the far side. Rottinghouse was over there to assist him out of bounds at the 29-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Thunder Ridge at their own 29.
And had some help by, of course, Rottinghouse, the kicker, but also Jason Haberkamp, the 6', 390-pound senior over there. Both of them together got him down and lassoed that Longhorn down to the ground over there.
Well, Thunder Ridge needs to see if they can't get something going offensively with 10:32 to go in the first half. They trail 16-0. They finally get a stop on the defensive end, and they have the football back. Back to the I formation. This time it is going to be Derek Reed in the backfield. He's going to take a carry across the 30, gets it up to the 35. A nice pickup of 6 yards on 1st down.
Absolutely. That kind of needed that little spark right there. And Derek Reed, they get him out in the open field. He's got probably as much speed or more speed than any other player on their team.
He is an athlete, and I'll tell you what, when he went down in the first quarter and was writhing in a little bit of pain, they were a little bit concerned on the home side. This time it's Lowe. He tries to cut it to the outside, but Haberkamp right there, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It will bring up 3rd down, and the outside has not been open for Thunder Ridge, and I think if they continue to try and cut it outside of the hole, they might be in trouble, because B&B, well coached, they are playing their lanes.
They're going to have to, they're keying so much on Trevor Lowe, they're going to, Coach Voorhees is going to have to use him for a decoy to set up some other play action deal, either going to Ritzke or like Derek Reed or somebody else, I think.
3rd down and 4. It's going to be a pitch to Ritzke. Looking for a block. He has it. Hurdles for the 1st down.
What a job.
Wow, track season's not here yet, but Trent Ritzke says, let's start some hurdle practice. Picks up 6 and a 1st down.
Now, was that a long jump or a triple jump action in there?
I'm going with hurdles.
Hurdles? Oh, hurdles. No, I thought it was a good broad jump right there. He jumped over 2 or 3 bodies.
Second 1st down of the ball game, and Thunder Ridge is back into B&B territory with 9:11 to go here in the first half. Wow, what a carry by Trent Ritzke. He knew where he had to get for the 1st down.
Well, and the lineman did a great job sealing off and making him hold up there, and all he does is cut back underneath of it and made that good yard.
1st down and 10. Again, it's low. Leans in, and he is going to be pushed backwards. Shoved back on the play. Haug is in there. Haverkamp in there as well. A pickup of a yard on the play. It's 2nd and 9.
Leading the charge on defense. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Unofficially for Trevor Lowe, 10 carries, 9 yards in this first half.
Well, that's what Coach, part of the strategy was. He said, you know, on defense, he says, no, we're number 12 is at all times, and watch for it and stop all the cutbacks.
There's
So
a kid to Reed. He's going right side. I'll tell you what, team defense is spectacular in the early going for B&B. Dustin Dieters, Reineke in there. Rottinghouse, a pickup of 2 on the play, 3rd and 7.
So normally they start off in a 3-3 stack defense. Linebackers are going to be 4 yards off the ball. Then they'll be stepping in, so sometimes it gives a 4-man front look because they're trying to fill the gaps, or a 3-2 monster. Which same that most all 8-man teams run that 3-2 monster defense.
3rd down and 7. Back to pass, Kruger. Looks, has a man out there, Ritzky. It's overthrown. He was double covered. Underneath was Tyler Dieters. Over the top was David Mackey. And it brings up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, that was that play was not going to be had by either offense or defense on that pass.
And another punting situation for Thunder Ridge.
And see, they're not used to that. Neither of these teams have had to punt very often the whole year long to anybody, have they?
David Mackey will go back deep to receive the punt for B&B. Snap back to Kruger. He waits, punts it away, gets a good one. It is going to go into the end zone. It will be a touchback, and it will be 1st and 10 for B&B at their own 15-yard line with 7:30 to go here in this first half. So things have settled down a little bit as far as defensively for Thunder Ridge, but the offense still can't get that push they need to get into scoring position.
They've only had that one spark, and it was, well, they've had 2 of them. Risky's on that one run to get that first down just a while ago, first down. And then, of course, that long pass play to Risky earlier.
So 1st down and 10 for B&B at their 15. Bergman in motion. They give it to Dieters. He's looking to the outside. Coombs is the only one to get him, and he brings him down as he crosses the 35 up to the 36, a pickup of 21 yards on the play.
Little cross-buck action there, and kind of start to the right and give it to Dieter going against the grain. And man, when he got the outside, he turned on the jet, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He is a quick one. Played offensive line, so you know he loves getting the pigskin this year. Haug in motion. It's going to be a pitch back. Dieters comes to the near side, gets to the edge, down the sideline, cuts it back. It is brought down. In on the play, Coombs with the tackle. Also coming over was Garrett Kruger.
It's not going to, coming into this game, he had 952 yards. So the way he's going right now, he's going to be well over 1,000 yards for the whole year. And this near had 148 carries coming in, 17 touchdowns. Caught 11 passes for 102 yards and 1 TD. And they're moving the sticks right now, so the Falcons had a couple first downs in a row here, Jeremy.
They have the ball down to the Thunder Ridge 29-yard line, where they have it 1st down and 10 with an unbalanced line to the right, and then Haug split that way as well. It's going to be Rottinghouse on the keeper. He's hit and dropped. Coming up was Coombs on the tackle inside the 25 down to the 24, a 5-yard gain.
No unbalanced line to give an eye look, an eye formation look, and off on the bounce to the right, a little quarterback spinner action, and he just, a little quarterback counter. Good for about 5 yards.
They'll bring up 2nd down and 5. This time they're going to offset eye in the backfield with the power to the left side again. It's going to be an option. Now it's going to be kept by Rottinghouse. He's brought down. Benton Raby read that one. He pushed Rottinghouse back in the backfield, made him make a choice, and then also Dennis did a good job from his defensive end position,
Absolutely.
Forcing Rottinghouse back inside, a loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, so Cade Dennis' help on the outside helped Benton Raby kind of wrap him up, number 48. He's had 39 tackles for the year, 4 fumble recoveries, and 2 sacks. 228-pound junior playing defensive end, Benton Raby.
So it brings up 3rd down and 6. There's the throw out in the flat. Haug makes the catch. He has blockers in front of him. Boyle pushes him out of bounds inside the 20, out at the 16-yard line. He picks up 10 yards and a first down. A beautifully set up play by B&B.
That's excellent. Had sent 2 receivers down. They kind of sealed off the D-backs and cornerback safeties. And then they just catch old 7 sitting out in behind there to have a little delayed action, and had a couple good blockers out in front of him, enough to make their first down.
Jerry Voorhees having a discussion with his sophomore middle linebacker right now. First down and 10, and Dieters breaks a tackle, lowers his shoulder, and Coombs, he's not afraid to come up and make a hit.
Great job by Derek Coombs, 135-pound junior. He's had 43 tackles this year, 1 interception, and get this, 3 fumble recoveries. So he's a quick little guy. 135-pound junior, not scared of anything, is he? Pretty tough cookie.
8 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown today for Dustin Dieters. Clock now runs under 5 minutes on 2nd down and 6. There's a pitch out to Bergman, comes near side, has some blockers. Still on his feet, fumbles the ball. Who's going to get it? It looks like Haug fell on it at the 11-yard line. So they're actually going to advance forward a couple of yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down or 3rd down and 5.
Man, it looked like it was going to be a disaster for the Falcons on that one. He got stripped. The ball was out. Definitely a fumble.
Thunder Ridge could have used that one.
It was lucky that old Haug was in the right place. So Cameron Haug, a 6'3", 190-pound junior.
So 3rd down and 5 from the 11-yard line. It is Rottinghouse to throw. Looks over. He has Dieters. He makes the catch. He is in for the touchdown. The circus catch by Tyler Dieters, his 5th touchdown reception on the season with 4:06 to go in the first half. It is 22-0 Falcons.
That's a great job by Tyler Dieters because the ball was almost behind him. He kind of turned in the middle of the air, and he kind of like had hot potato in his hand, and he caught on to it and just barely made the end zone for the touchdown.
Tell you what, did a good job concentrating, bringing that ball in on the 11-yard pass.
Absolutely. Boy did a great job, and that was his 24th reception or 25th reception, 473 yards and 4 touchdowns, now 5.
Here comes the 2-point conversion. Rottinghouse is slammed down, so the first thing that doesn't go right for the B&B Falcons on the 2-point conversion run, but with 4:06 to go in the first quarter, or first half, excuse me, it's 22-0, and the Falcons looking every bit the #1 team in the state.
And what's happening is that now you're going to force Voorhees to do something he normally don't like to do, because you're not used to being behind. You're not used to throwing the ball very much, only 47 times the whole year, but he might be forced to have play action passes, halfback passes out in the flat, something to try to get loose, get some speed going, and everything's going to be quick. It's not going to have to be play action, but it's not going to take a whole long time to make materialize. You know, you're not going to have it all day because the Falcons have just been rushing and controlling the line of scrimmage. Huh, Jeremy? That's the way it might take.
Well, Thunder Ridge is going to have to find a way to get the ball in space.
That's true.
I mean, if you don't get the ball in space, you're in trouble, because this B&B team, what they've showed defensively is they're going to flow to the ball, they're going to attack the football, and that comes into what you mentioned, some potential play action passes, something to cause some misdirection and get them, and that will get some kids in space.
Maybe a screen up the middle, but that's tough because there's a lot of cluster of people up in there.
So it'll be kickoff for Reineke. He puts it in the air, and it's a line driver. It is going to bounce. Yoxel will take it at the 4. Comes up looking to get to the outside. He gets to the outside for a moment and is going to be wrapped up and brought out of bounds. That should be a 15-yard. Wow, I don't know what. It looked like Yoxel got tackled about 7 yards past the boundary. No call. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Thunder Ridge at about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, some of the stat guys on the sideline for Thunder Ridge might have some issues with that side judge there.
Boy, that was awfully close to I know they rode him out of bounds, but it looked like they rode him maybe a little bit farther than normal. But Thunder Ridge with the football, trailing by 22. They have to go forward now on offense. Kruger gives it off the left side. Reed nearly broke a tackle. And it was Tyler Dieters on the hit up at the 30-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards.
You notice that most of the game films that probably the Falcons had didn't show Reed back in the backfield. Either had Trent Risky, or Trevor Lowell, and they've been keying everything. Of course, they got to stop Trevor Lowell, and they've done that. So that makes these counter plays and plays to Derek Reed are setting up and doing quite well.
2nd down and 4. It's a counter play. Reed going to the outside. Muting is right there. Derek Muting, the 185-pound sophomore, swallows him up 2 yards deep in the backfield. It's 3rd down and 6.
Get me once, but try to get me twice, huh? Dang, Derek Moody did a great job. He's had 67 tackles this year and 2 fumble recoveries at 27. Number 27 there, the 185-pound sophomore. Doing a great job at middle linebacker.
Well, Thunder Ridge again in a familiar position. 3rd down and 6, so not completely as long as it has been, but it is in a very good position for the Longhorns. They need 6 yards. Kruger is going to throw, has a man open. It's incomplete, intended for Reed. A little bit too tall for Reed to bring it down. Incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 4th down. And punting situation again for the Longhorns with 2:44 to go here in the first half.
4th and 7. Of course, Coach Cope, that was his keys to win was know where number 12 is at all times and stop all the cutbacks by him. And the second key to victory was to get him in 3rd and long situations, and that's what they've been.
Snap back to Kruger, and he got off a good one this time. Bergman going to watch it bounce. He's going to pick it up inside the 10 and knock that out of bounds. At the 12-yard line, that's where B&B will take over 1st down and 10 at the 12-yard line. And another play that was very close for a hit out of bounds, and it's going to bring up 1st down and 10 for the Falcons.
And there's a great punt, but it almost got blocked too. I don't remember who the guy was, but he almost only missed the ball about a couple feet by stretching up there trying to get it. But it ended up being a great punt and the needed one to get the Falcons back here on their own 12-yard line for their 1st and 10.
Start at the 12. They have 68 yards to go to pay dirt. 2 minutes and 35 seconds to get there. It is Rottinghouse up the middle. Breaks a tackle, leans forward. I'll tell you what, Cade Dennis didn't exactly wrap him up, but gave him enough of a push to get him to the ground, but a pickup of 6 on the play.
Yeah, of course, Rottinghouse is big, tall boy, 6'2", 175-pound junior quarterback, and he's run that ball 96 times prior to this game for 509 yards and 18 rushing touchdowns this year. So the boy can run it, not just pass it.
2nd down and 4. He's going to run it again right up the gut. He has a 1st down. He leans forward across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 8 yards and a 1st down.
And they're moving the sticks again. So, this year, though, he's had over 1,200 yards receiving. He's 77 passes out of 137. So he's completed 56% of his passes and averages 15.74 yards per each pass reception. Quite a talented quarterback, Dustin Rottinghouse.
1:40 to go here in the first half. It has been all B&B so far. They lead 20-0. Up the middle. There to make the tackle was Laramie Boyle on Dustin Dieters, a pickup of 1 on the play. And a timeout on the field for B&B. We'll take it with you. 1:25 to go here in the first half. They'll say 1:23. A timeout on the field. 22-0 Falcons. We're back after this. Welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton. 1:23 to go in the first half of the 8-man Division II state championship game. It is B&B Baileyville 22, Thunder Ridge nothing. Jeremy McGuire along with Larry Jantz, and Thunder Ridge is going to have to find an answer for what has been a solid attack so far by the Falcons.
You're absolutely right. Of course, if you win the line of scrimmage, you generally kind of win the ball game, and if you make them less errors. And so far, the Falcons have kind of punched the Longhorns in the mouth, and whether they like it or not, and they've been winning.
It will be 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard carry from Dustin Dieters, and balance has been the key so far for the Falcons as well. Dustin Rottinghouse with 45 yards on the ground 48 yards for Dustin Dieters, Brendan Bergman with 8, but Rottinghouse has also thrown for 62 yards.
Yeah, let's see what it brings up here on 2nd and 9.
Couple timeouts left for the Falcons. Back to pass, Rottinghouse under some pressure. Dieters is open, makes a catch, gets to the sideline. He's at midfield, up into out of bounds as he crosses the 40 and will be marked out at around the 38, 39 yard line. It's 1st down and 10.
Great pass. Nice crisp pass by Rottinghouse to Tyler Dieters. Like you said, he's had 4 touchdowns for the year, 24 receptions, 473 yards coming into this game. And that young man averages about 19.7 times every time he catches the old carom.
Clock winds with 1:10 to go. And the officials are going to discuss, I think Justin Cope thought the player went out of bounds, and when the clock ran, it wound about 8 seconds off the clock that I think he figures should still be on there. We'll see what the call is.
And we get Mike Folk, the umpire here.
We put 1:21 on the clock, please.
And good job by the officials getting together, and heads up by Justin Cope, making sure he knew what was going on the field. Of course, coaches don't typically miss much.
They're in a game. They're in a certain zone. Look at there, you got twins to the left.
Haug in motion. They have thrown to him a lot so far today. He's going to go up the seam. He has Bergman out there, incomplete. He was open. He had beat Derek Reed on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down. It's only the 2nd pass that Rottinghouse has not connected on today. He is unofficially 7 for 9 for 78 yards and a touchdown here in this first half. He's also ran for 45 yards, so not a bad day at the office for the junior.
Yeah, it's only a half a game here, yeah.
2nd and 10. They're going to throw it again. It's a little slip screen out to the near side. Tyler Dieters cuts back across the grain, is going to be brought down by Ritzky at the 31-yard line after a pickup of 8 yards on the play.
They almost got the umpire down too. Tom King had to work hard to get out of the way.
3rd down and 2. 56 seconds to go in the first half. There's a give. Dieters up the middle. 1st down and then some. Breaking tackles inside the 20. Carries tacklers all the way down to the 17-yard line. A pickup of 14 and a 1st down.
Never say die. Dustin Dieters. 5'10", mean, tough, 170-pound senior fullback.
And they are right back at the line of scrimmage, ready to go. 45 seconds in the half. There's a throw down the field. Bergman was double covered in the end zone by Lowe and Reed. It will bring up 2nd down.
Just overthrew him. Rottinghouse just overthrew him a little bit because he was open. If he let him just right, they'd had another touchdown, looked like. So now they're trying to conserve the clock, go in the passing game, and either successful or not, because now you got 41.7 seconds to go to halftime, and they're trying to punch another one in.
The ball at the 17-yard line of the Thunder Ridge Longhorns. Motion again from Dieters. It's going to be Rottinghouse on the keeper. He's going to be brought down after a short pickup of 2 on the play, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 8.
And just keeping the defense honest and hoping that they did it, so he's still in the shotgun.
Now back to pass. Throw to the end zone. Out there, it is incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Derek Coombs. It's going to bring up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, he turned around and knocked it away so old Haug wouldn't catch that there pass. Cameron Haug, 6'3", 190-pound end. He's averaged 15.29 yards per catch this year also, and 7 touchdowns coming up to now. Almost had his 8th.
So 4th down and 7. This would be a huge defensive stop for the Thunder Ridge Longhorns. Rottinghouse back. Looking, has time to throw for Bergman. Incomplete coverage on the play by Reed. It's a turnover on downs, and it goes back to Thunder Ridge.
Yeah, great job by Reed on defense, and that he took that pass away. If it had been any shorter, he would have intercepted and had a pick 6. Might have had. He had 2 of them against Sharon Springs in the semifinal game. Number 10, Derek Reed, 189-pound junior, with 41 tackles for the year, 3 interceptions, and 2 sacks.
Now you ask yourself, if you're Jerry Voorhees, do you try and make something happen with 17.6 seconds left in this half.
Well, if you do, it's going to be a play action pass, and he's got the quarterback underneath center, so
it is going to be low up the middle. His biggest chunk of yardage. He continues to push forward, still on his feet, and is wrestled down across the 25 at the 26-yard line. Picks up 11 yards, the longest run of the ball game for Trevor Lowe. Only the third first down of the half for Thunder Ridge with 9.6 seconds left to go. And the Longhorns are going to take a timeout now with 7.9 seconds left to go here in the half. We'll keep it right here. Well, 7.9, there's not a whole lot you can do but try and get the ball down the field. And B&B showed a little prevent defense there on that first down play, and I would assume they'll do more of the same.
Yeah, I got a feeling they'll go back into what the coach would call a 2-3-2-1 defense. Most coaches call it a 2-5 defense. They're going to drop to zone, then they're going to read that quarterback's eyes, and it's been very successful for them this year. So that's one of the three defensive sets they kind of use. Normally they're in a 3-3 stack defense where the linebackers set up about 4 yards behind the ball. It also runs that 3-2 monster we've talked about, and they kind of preventive defense right here where they drop into the 2-5 or 2-3-2-1 type defense, which we saw in that last play.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 26-yard line for the Longhorns. And just like we thought, B&B has...
there's a 2-3-2-1.
Has the 2-3-2-1 prevent defense. It's going to be low again. He has another first down. I would imagine Thunder Ridge will take another timeout. Another 11-yard gain by Trevor Lowe. He's picked up 22 yards on his last 2 carries. So Thunder Ridge getting it close enough to maybe heave one here. And another timeout with 3.4 seconds left to go. And, you know, when you run that 2-3-2-1, it leaves that middle vulnerable. Jerry Voorhees says, let's see if we can rip off a couple runs, get close to midfield, and heave one towards the end zone.
Yeah, because the up front line for Falcons are out there covering the ends, and so it left everything around the center and the guards open, like you said, so that just allowed any play up the middle. But they're going to give you 10 yards left in. There's not that many seconds left. They'll give them 10 more yards again, or 11, and then run out the clock. And so this time the Longhorns going to have to come up with a halfback pass, going to have to come up with something, play action pass to get somebody open if they expect to score before halftime.
They'll come out of the timeout here momentarily with the ball at their own 38-yard line, so it's going to take a 42-yard play or at least a defensive penalty.
And so you still got Haverkamp over there, see at the left defensive end, you got Reineke over here. So that's your 2 guys up front, and they're just covering their ends.
It's going to be a pass by Kruger. Under a little pressure, heaves it down the field, looks out there. It's going to be intercepted. Now look out. Intercepted by Rottinghouse. He comes near side, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds. And that is going to run out the clock here in this first half. A first half that was dominated by the Baileyville B&B Falcons. Larry Jans leading 22-0. A very, very complete first half by the Falcons.
Absolutely. Ball control, winning the line of scrimmage, and taking advantage of it, making the defensive keys work very well. They've bottled up Trevor Lowe, except for these last 2 or 3 runs here in the second quarter. Kept him out of the game, took him out of the picture so far. And then, of course, kept him in a third and long situation, which was one of their game plans by Coach Cope. And so far, they've done all their objectives, and they have not allowed any big plays yet, except for that one 30-some-yard pass that Risky caught. Other than that, the Longhorns don't have an answer for what the Falcons, the dose of medicine they've been given.
The score is 22-0. It's been all B&B so far. The Falcons on top by 22 as we go to halftime. The Falcons up 22-0 over Thunder Ridge. And welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton. We are at halftime, getting ready to start the second half. The Baileyville B&B Falcons with the 22-0 lead over the Thunder Ridge Longhorns in the 8-man Division II state championship game for the Kansas State High School Activities Association. Jeremy McGuire, color analyst Larry Jantz, bringing you the broadcast of today's ball game. It's now time to look Had our halftime stats brought to you by Coombs Trucking Incorporated of Phillipsburg. Looking at the leaders so far today, the B&B Falcons, 86 passing yards, 117 yards on the ground for 203 total yards and 9 first downs. No turnovers in the ball game, and a score of 22 points for the Thunder Ridge Longhorns. 37 passing yards, 51 rushing yards, 88 yards of total offense for the Longhorns, 4 first downs, and then the one turnover that happened late in the first half on the interception by Dustin Rottinghouse, and no points on the board for the Thunder Ridge Longhorns. That is your first half stats update, brought to you by Coombs Trucking Incorporated of Phillipsburg. And the score 22-0 here at the half. It's all started out in the early going. Thunder Ridge got the ball, 3 plays and out, punted. It was a 37-yard drive capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Dustin Dieters. 2-point conversion run was good, made it 8-0 at that point for the Falcons. Thunder Ridge got the ball back, did it another 3 plays and out, punted again. This time the B&B got the football at the 33-yard line. It took them 2 plays before Brendan Bergman marched in from 6 yards out, made the score 16-0 after the 2-point conversion run. Then in the second quarter with 4:06 to go, Dustin Rottinghouse hits Tyler Dieters on a crossing pattern from 11 yards out. The 2-point conversion run failed, and that is our score that we have right now by a score of 22-0. And Thunder Ridge drove down into B&B territory late in the first quarter, but they were not able to get the ball into the end zone, and therefore they still trail by a score of 22-0. Larry Jantz now joins us. And Larry, what is Thunder Ridge going to have to do here in this second half to get back in the ball game?
They're going to have to open up the game a little bit. They got to get some of their speed backs like Reed and Trevor Lowe. They got to get those guys out there, and Risky. They got to get them out in some open space to open the game up, because they're getting smothered inside.
And you look at it, Thunder Ridge is going to be on defense to start this second half. Do you think Jerry Voorhees comes out and tries to do any type of surprise with an onside kick, anything like that, to shake up the momentum in this football game?
Well, he's got to go to the extent of all this playbook, whatever he's got in there, and he's got to pull out the rabbit out of the hat. He's got to do something David Copperfield magic stuff, because it's either now or never. And so you want to play the game now, and so you got these quarters in where they're controlling the ball, the Falcons. You got to do something with it. You can't have third and outs. And so to compensate for that, I think you got to have short pass routes. I mean, get something quick, fast, out to your speed backs and get it going, because the way they're rushing the line, you don't have a whole lot of time to make decisions and run any slow developing type play.
And then you look at B&B, and they really dominated that first half. Looking at the Coombs Trucking first half stats, B&B 86 yards through the air, 117 on the ground, 203 total yards. You flip on the other side, Thunder Ridge 37 yards through the air, 51 yards on the ground, a total of 88 yards, and a good chunk, almost half of those yards on the ground, came the last couple plays in the first half, when B&B was really running what is essentially a prevent defense and allowed those runs for Trevor Lowe. And Trevor Lowe's a guy that's going to have to get on track. He is the leader of this football team, and whether it's him running the football, blocking, being the decoy, something's going to have to happen. Something's going to have to click, and it's going to center around number 12.
You're partly right, but one guy can't be the wrecking crew. I mean, the rest of the guys got to come up, and you got to have your Derek Reed, who has been a spark plug at different points in the first half, and Risky. You got to get some of those other guys. Kruger, you got to get those other guys out in space too. If nothing else, use Trevor Lowe for a decoy right now. You might even throw him a halfback pass. He hasn't shown it. The only time he showed it all year long, they ran a halfback pass against Sharon Springs, caught them off guard, and earlier you saw that halfback, a quarterback going out, rolling out Rottinghouse, and he's got the ball up in there, and he's faking it. Do I run? Do I not? As a cornerback, when I played D-ball, I hated to see that, because if you come up and try to hit, then they dump it over your head, and then of course the receiver gets a touchdown, you know, Jeremy. So it's that type of stuff there. You got to make those kind of decisions. So either Kruger doing it, Trevor Lowe, somebody has to create some deception and misdirection for the Longhorns to get back in this game. They're not out of it, but they got to do something fast to get back in it.
Thunder Ridge will kick off. It'll be the first time as Greg Yoxel, the 170-pound senior, will tee it up. Brendan Bergman will go back deep for the B&B Falcons. They will have 7 guys within 25 yards of the kick, and Yoxel will put a left foot into it. And it is somewhat of a pooch onside kick, and it goes out of bounds. Good job right there by Dylan Schmitz, the 6'2", 172-pound junior, just watching that thing roll out of bounds, and it will be great field position to start the football or second half for the B&B Falcons after the kick goes out of bounds.
On their own, 22-yard line, or 23, I guess. Here they come out in their old what kind of offense is it right now? Oh, they're waiting for the ball to get set.
So first down and 10, they will have the ball at the 25-yard line, so a short field, 55-yard field for the Falcons as we get underway here in the second half. Great to have you along for high school football. It doesn't get much better than the playoffs, and definitely not much better than the state championship game. There's Dieters up the middle, springs a tackle, and finally Dennis brings him down as he crosses the 25 up to the 28, a pickup of 3 on the play.
That was a great job in there by Garrett Kruger, too, playing linebacker in there for that stop. And we got 2nd and 7 to go for the Falcons. And they're kind of still in that old kind of a pistol set.
Roddinghouse is going to throw. Under a little pressure, throws it down the field. Haug is out there, threw his hands incomplete. Coombs was on the coverage at the 20-yard line. Boy, that pass was right there, and Haug wishes he could have it back because that went right through his hand.
Well, I think if he extended his hands out further, he had his hands pretty close to his body, so it just barely cleared his helmet. And if he had his hands extended further out, I think he would have caught the pass. But that's past history now. Going to bring up 3rd down and on 7. And that was a good play-action deceptive pass by the Falcons then. I mean, faked that earlier the first down to get the Dieters up the middle. Now they faked it to him and then send Haug long.
So 3rd down and 7, the ball at the 28-yard line.
Twins to the right.
Thunder Ridge would love a defensive stop here. A little bit of pressure, not much. Roddinghouse is going to get it down. He's going to have a first down and then some, and he is up near midfield, brought down at the 38-yard line, a pickup of 10 on the play. Boy, that junior quarterback really knows when he needs to pull it down and run, and he had room to roam for the first down.
Yeah, Benton Rabbie had him bundled up out here in case he's going to try to come out wide, but then he tucked it up and went upside the middle, and so Rabbie kind of had to hustle to get back there and catch him, but not before he got the first down by Roddinghouse.
First down and 10 from the 39-yard line. It's going to be Roddinghouse again right up the middle. Anyway, he is breaking tackles and finally brought down as he crosses the 35 down to nearly the 34. We'll see where they officially mark it. It looks like the 34-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard gain.
Yeah, Ben Rabbie had to come in there from his defensive end position to kind of scat back and catch him right up over the nose and hung on and had a good tackle down by his legs at lower body, but not before he gained about 9 yards, or a good strong 8.
2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard gain. Dieters is a lone man in the backfield. I'll bet he's going to get the football. He does. He bounces it to the outside, looks, breaks another tackle. Now he's going down the sidelines and finally shoved out of bounds. Trevor Lowe on the tackle inside the 30 down to nearly the 32-yard line, or excuse me, the 27-yard line. So a pickup of 7 on the play on what could have been a tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, arm tackling just don't get it done, not against the Dustin Dieters. Cade Dennis had a shot at him and missed it, the first guy. And anyways, here you got 1st down and 10 for the Falcons.
Roddinghouse again with Dieters behind him. That ball's on the ground and Roddinghouse got on it. Dieters was, or excuse me, it was
It was meant to
Dennis
go
was right there, but Rottinghouse secured the football. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Rottinghouse meant to have a handoff to Dieters, but there was a mix-up in there, and the old ball got put on the carpet for a while. And Cade Dennis almost had it, but Rottinghouse came back and salvaged it for now 2nd and a long 10.
That's the 2nd time that B&B has fumbled the football, but they have recovered both fumbles. There's a wide receiver screen out to the near side. Boyle gets out there quickly to make the tackle. Reed helps him out, but a good read by the sophomore linebacker, Laramie Boyle, 170 pounds. A short pickup of 2 yards on 2nd down and 10 will make it 3rd and 8.
I'm impressed by how he covered that much ground. That was a great job by Laramie Boyle, that middle linebacker, 170-pound sophomore. He came from that middle linebacker spot out there and kind of stopped Tyler Dieters almost in his tracks.
So 3rd down and 8, another 3rd down attempt for the B&B Falcons. Last time Rottinghouse went back to pass and he ended up scrambling for the 1st down. Bergman in motion. Rottinghouse has some blockers. He's hit, dropped short of the 1st down. He needed 7. He picked up about 5. It'll bring up 4th down and 2.
That was a great misdirection there. They send the guy in motion to the left, and then keep Rottinghouse fakes to him and then follows the other backer to the right-hand side, and a little misdirection and good little play there. So, but it's 4th down, and you know they're going to go for it, 4th and 2.
Justin Cope, I think, is going to take this down and possibly take a timeout as his team is driving down. An important play in this football game, and a timeout is called here in the 3rd quarter. We'll take it with you. With 8:17 to go in the 3rd quarter, it is B&B 22, Thunder Ridge nothing. A timeout on the field. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton. Jeremy McGuire along with color analyst Larry Jansen. A big play in this football game, especially for the Thunder Ridge defense. If they get a stop here, they get the ball back, maybe a little bit of momentum. B&B with a 22-point lead right now would love to shove this thing back into the end zone.
Yeah, they're part of their offensive keys for victory, of course, to control the line of scrimmage, which they have done. Utilize their motion and their formations to their advantage, getting the athletes in space to make the plays. And, of course, use the passing game to help offset the stacked box, or basically the 3-2 or the 3-3 run by the Longhorns.
Well, here we go. 4th down and 2. It's a double end set. And it's on 2 coming left side. Bergman, he's not going to get it. He needed 2. He got about a half a yard on the play. A great job by the defense from Thunder Ridge. Boyle's in there again. Kruger was in there. Also, Benton Raby, and it's going to bring up 1st down and 10. I'm going to say no gain on the play. A good defensive stand by Thunder Ridge.
Boy, that was about 4 of them Longhorns in there on that gang tackling, and they stuffed that line of scrimmage. And of course, Brendan Bergman, he had no place to go. So 1st down for the Longhorns. Now they got to make something happen here, Jeremy.
Well, if you're going to get back into the ball game, now's the time. There is Lowe, goes off right side. He's trying to power forward, but he is going to be brought down. And on the tackle is Haverkamp for B&B, a pickup of a couple of yards on the play. It will bring up 2nd down and 8 for Thunder Ridge.
They had a host of Falcons in there. They've got his number. They've had his number all day so far. He's not used to just getting 1 or 2 yards.
Not his cup of tea.
Well, and a lot of these teams, you know, they've had the mercy rule by most teams, but today, by golly, I'll tell you what, it's just a tough game to play in the line of scrimmage, to fight for it and win it.
2nd down and 8. Kruger, left side, Reed with the carry. He is going to be brought down from behind. Muting in on the tackle. Cole Dieter's there as well. A pickup of 2 more. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
Just exactly what the Longhorns don't want to have is 3rd and long, but they're in it 3rd and 6, and that's exactly what the Falcons defense wants to have them. Force them into 3rd and long situations.
They need the 30-yard line to get a 1st down. They would love to rip off about 56 yards right here and get a score on the board. Kruger's going to throw, rolls to his right, looks, in some trouble, still in some trouble, throws it up and had no chance of completing that pass to Derek Reed. He was double covered the entire way, and it brings up 4th down.
And Kruger did his best just to out-hustle that Jason Haberkamp, his 6'3" and 190-pound senior who has had 29 tackles for the year so far, and he was out to get him. You can see that these 6 seniors for the Falcons, they've really, how sweet it is that these 6 seniors are having a thrust of their day right there.
Thunder Ridge is going to punt the football away. Kruger is the punter. He will get it, and will get it. Good pressure on the play by Haverkamp, and that will take a nice bounce, and will be taken by Dieters. He fumbles it.
Oh.
Thunder Ridge has it inside the 15, down at the 13-yard line. Nolan Billings on the ball for the Longhorns, and just like that, it is great field position for Thunder Ridge.
Absolutely. Nolan Billings, the linebacker on defense, but the 168-pound sophomore saw the old pigskin on the turf, and he picked her up.
So Dustin Dieters makes a mistake. There was the fumble, there was the recovery. Now you hear some excitement from the Thunder Ridge crowd. Now they have to take advantage of it. And that is a fumble. It's on the field, and it's going to be picked up by Yoxel back at the 19.
Was that a great blitz by Derek Muting, huh? I mean, the quarterback just barely got it, Kruger, and all of a sudden, Mr. Muting, middle linebacker for the Falcons, met him.
And there's a fumble, and you saw Yoxel get on that thing, and that could have been dangerous. And all of a sudden, it's 2nd down and 16 after the 6-yard loss by Yoxel as he got on the football.
The Falcons trying to stamp the life out of them, the Longhorns there.
There's a pitch. Ritzky with the carry, has the sideline, is going to be brought down. David Mackey on the carry, Muting there as well. It brings up 3rd down and 13. The 3-yard pickup for Trent Ritzky, only his 3rd carry of the ball game.
That brings him into one of them there play action pass situations, I suspect.
Boy, this B&B defense has been suffocating today. Thunder Ridge needs to crack it right here on 3rd down and 13 from the 16. Back to pass Kruger. Sets up, in some trouble, throws it up. It is nearly intercepted, knocked away by Rottinghouse, and it will bring up 4th down.
It's a great job there by even Thunder Ridge's Derek Reed just to knock it down, so make sure it was an interception. I mean, so the ball was thrown a little bit behind the actual intended receiver. I think it might be time for that halfback pass from Trevor Lowe to somebody else.
4th down and 13. Thunder Ridge had recovered a muff punt and fumble at the 13. They've went backwards since then. There's a pitch back.
They're in that 2-5
Lowe
defense.
looking, in some trouble, still in trouble, stays on his feet and brought down back. It's outside the 20 at the 22-yard line. He loses 6 yards on the play, and it's going to bring up 1st down and 10 for B&B. They're going to mark it. See if officially they mark it. It looks like the 22, a loss of 6 on the play, and boy, that just takes the air out of the balloon of the Thunder Ridge Longhorns.
Yeah, they popped that balloon, but you saw that cotton picking Curtis Stahlbomber, huh? Was he all over Trevor Lowe after he stumbled?
Well, they saw it on film. I don't think they were surprised a bit by the throw from Lowe. Coming to the near side, Dieters. He is going to be gang tackled, and we're going to have a flag on the play at the about the 23-yard line. We'll see what the call is from the official. It's a 1-yard gain on the play.
Could be a hold. Looks like they're looking back in that way.
And it is going to be a hold, so the first penalty of the football game against B&B. And that's with 5:33 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
That's pretty good discipline to go this far in the ball game and only have that 1 penalty against you. Absolutely great discipline on the offensive scheme of things for the Falcons. Mike Folk says still 1st down, so it's 1st and around 20.
So 1st and 20, the ball's spotted back at the 13-yard line. Back to pass, Rottinghouse. Looking, throws it up. Bergman stumbles. Coombs out there, couldn't come away with it at midfield. Derek Coombs was a little off balance trying to come down with that football, but Bergman also stumbled before that, so Coombs was the only one left out there.
I wondered if the ball had fluttered in the air but due to the wind, but I don't think that was a factor. But it could have been because the flag's sure glowing pretty good.
So 2nd down and 20, absolutely. The wind's been blowing pretty stiff out of the south all day long.
It might have caused that ball to flutter in the air, in the air, I think. So you got what, 2nd and 20?
2nd and 20, Twins to each side for the Falcons. Dieter's in motion. He's going to help block. Rottinghouse throws it down the field and over the top, intended for Tyler Dieters. Good coverage on the play by Derek Reed. Also back there was Trevor Lowe. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 20.
That's a good, nice, tight spiral by Mr. Rottinghouse, but it went to Casper the Ghost. I mean, nobody else home.
Say a tight spiral is good, but...
Yeah, but it didn't go to him. It went to Casper the Ghost,
good.
And Halloween's over. I mean, I'm sorry about that. But.
So 3rd down and 20, and B&B backed up as far as they've been backed up, and that's what penalties will do to you. That's why that's only the 2nd penalty of the ball game. First one was a false start against Thunder Ridge early in the game on a punt. Boyle comes in and slams into the quarterback Rottinghouse, and the pitch back to Dieters.
Talking about. That's good defense.
And no gain on the play. Boy, you saw Laramie Boyle come in on that stunt, and he just drilled Rottinghouse. He pitched it to Dieters. No gain on the play, 4th and 20.
He almost caused a fumble, didn't he, before he pitched, because that's perfect time to get rid of the ball. Another second more, he would have had him. Boyle would have had him, I think. Great job by that sophomore. I'm impressed by him, Laramie Boyle. He's had a good game.
So 4th down in a punting situation for Rottinghouse and the Falcons with 4:43 and counting to go here in the 3rd quarter. Rottinghouse will line one up and gets a good roll. It will go to the out of bounds, and Ritzke will watch it go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. It will be Thunder Ridge football, 1st and 10 to throw on 25-yard line. The defense holds again, but the offense has to start putting some points on the board if they are going to get back in this football game.
You're absolutely right. Going to have to play action stuff like we discussed at the beginning of the half here, and they haven't really opened up. They don't have any speed merchants getting out in the open field, and that needs to be done. But give credit to the Falcons defense. They played almost flawless all day long.
1st down and 10 from the 25. Shotgun for Kruger and his Longhorns. Gives it underneath the Low, and he's hit by Muting. And then the rest of the Falcons come in to help out. Dieters was there as well. And it's going to be a pickup of a yard on the play, 2nd down and 9. And really, when you say Dieters is there as well, you could be about 4 or 5 different guys.
Five of the 8 guys had him wrapped up, and one guy let him get just but 1 yard. I mean, they've been all over Trevor Lowe. This has to be one of his low outputs of the whole season so far.
15 carries, 28 yards so far in the ball game.
Mercy. And we know some of those are in that 2-5 prevent defense.
And then the penalty against, it's going to be a legal motion. 2nd penalty against the Longhorns.
Yeah, we had Greg Yachts in motion, and of course Trevor Lowe, and that's a
2nd
no-no.
down.
Tell you what, you get to this point of the season and you see plays like that, and tell you what, in Canadian Football League, they might have been all right.
Yeah.
Or Arena League.
Yeah, arena. Anything goes in arena, isn't it?
I think
Short
so.
field.
So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 14, and again, Thunder Ridge makes a mistake that pushes themselves back. Yoxel will motion to the far side this time.
They got Twins to the right.
It's going to be an option to the right. There's the pitch. Lowe gets it. Looking for a block. Gets to the sideline. It's going to be brought down as he crosses the 30 up to the 31-yard line. A pickup of 10 yards on the play.
I bet you Coach Voorhees kind of remembers that formation, remembers that play. Whether they go left or to the right, they might even want to do that same thing to this side of the field.
One thing you can do on that is option pass as well. Instead of option, you take it back and throw it.
That's exactly what they did against Sharon Springs. So look for that to come up, because instead of Trevor Lowe tucking and running, he might just fake it and then hit somebody deep behind him.
3rd down and 5. Lowe again with the carry. He is close to the first down, but is not going to get it. He went down short. He picked up 3 yards. It's going to bring up 4th down and a short 2.
And he's limping a little bit going back. He's favoring his hip or leg because he got hit pretty good on that play.
Well, Jerry Voorhees doesn't even think about it. He's going for it on 4th down and 2. His team has only been able to get 4 first downs the entire football game. All of those coming in the first half. This 3rd quarter has not been able to get it done so far. Kruger gives it to Lowe. He is not going to get there. He is short. He picked up a yard on the play. He was hit in the backfield and is not going to get the first down. A 1-yard gain. It's going to be 1st down and 10 B&B at the Thunder Ridge 34-yard line.
That was, but he was dinged up on that previous play, and I think if we had seen that there should have been some different play called then, because Trevor Lowe, and all defense to him, he was dinged up on that play, and it wasn't almost fair to him to be running that ball. You know, he's a tough cookie and been tougher than nails. I'd never say die.
1st down and 10 up the middle. Dieters again on the carry. He's brought down a couple of Longhorns. Boyle also in there on the play for Thunder Ridge was Logan Miller, the 225-pound sophomore. A pickup of 2. Rottinghouse. He's going to option it to the left. He's going to keep it. He has a gap. He's still on his feet. Finally rode down by Lowe, but he crosses the 25 down to the 22-yard line. A pickup of 10 yards on the play, and it's another 1st down for the Falcons.
Yeah, they're moving the sticks, and the Thunder Ridge can't hardly get it done. Like you said, what was it, 4 first downs all they've had so far?
All in the first half, and B&B right back at it. They give it up the middle, and that is not going to go anywhere. Rabby, the initial contact for Thunder Ridge. Miller in there to help out. No gain on the play.
Rabby and Boyle and the rest of the buddies, the Longhorns, stuffed him for no gain on that play.
Dieters 15 carries, 84 yards. Rottinghouse with 12 carries for 83 yards. Leading the way for Thunder Ridge is Trevor Lowe, 18 carries, 42 yards. 5 carries, 14 yards for Derek Reed. 2nd down and 10, under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Rottinghouse to throw. Looks, throws it backside. Dieters is open. Gets it. Close to a 1st down. Breaks the tackle. Still on his feet inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. A 13-yard gain on 2nd down and 10.
That's a great throw and a great catch by Tyler Dieters. You know, he averages over 19 yards catch anyway. And so 4 touchdowns. He's looking for another one.
Quickly, they go at it again. Rottinghouse throws it. It's complete to Bergman. Breaks a tackle inside the 5, down at the 4. He picks up 5 yards.
Reed kept him from getting in the end zone. Derek Reed, 189 junior. He's had 41 touchdowns for the year, 3 interceptions, and 2 sacks. And good thing he was there. As soon as they caught the ball, I nailed him right there to hold him from scoring.
And it looks like B&B is going to go to the 4th quarter. Well, there's a timeout on the field. Oh, they're going to keep the clock winding. I didn't think there was a timeout, but the clock stopped.
I was going to say the boys started to the sideline, so it's ended the.
So we are under 10 seconds to go in the 3rd. The clock winds. And the Thunder Ridge Longhorns have their biggest hill to climb of the season nearly since August 31st when they opened up against the Rock Hills Grizzlies. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Our score remains the same. B&B 22, Thunder Ridge nothing. We're back with your 4th quarter after this.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Jeremy McGuire, Larry Jantz back at Fisher Field in Newton. 22-0 B&B with the lead and the football. Second down and goal at the Thunder Ridge 4-yard line. Falcons fumbled the ball already. There's a quick pass out in the flat that's knocked away by Garrett Kruger. Did a good job of getting his hands up because Haug was open on the edge.
If he would have knocked that pass down, Haug was going to catch that and score another TD.
So third down and goal now from the 4-yard line.
Third and goal at the 4.
Nobody in the backfield with Roddinghouse. Twins to both sides. Dieters now in motion. It's going to be Roddinghouse. Goes right, still on his feet, pushing, but he's not going to make it into the end zone. And a flag on the play coming in late, and I think we might have a face mask against Thunder Ridge.
Tackle is by Kate Guinness. Flag in the play.
See what the call is.
Referee Mike Folk.
Mask.
Yeah.
Blue. 5 yards. Half the distance. End of the run.
So
Still
half the distance to the
Means
goal.
length of the football.
And it's still going to be third down.
But the length of the football bout's all they gained out of that one.
So the first and goal from the 1.
So third down and goal just inside the 1-yard line. So B&B has 2 cracks at it to try and put more points on the board. Roddinghouse is going to go up underneath center. This is going to be a keeper right up the gut. There it is, and it's a touchdown for the B&B Falcons.
Yeah,
Dustin Roddinghouse from 1 yard out. His first touchdown run to go along with the touchdown pass earlier with 11:34 to go in the ball game. It is 28-0 Falcons.
They tried to go over his right guard, and then all of a sudden it stuffed him there, so he veered off of it and come off the left and found the end zone.
With 11:34 to go, it is looking ever more disparaging for the Thunder Ridge Longhorns, and here comes the 2-point conversion. It is Roddinghouse, throws it into the end zone. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Trevor Lowe, but in the high school game you can't return those for any points. So with 11:34 to go, it's 28-0. Still feasible to get back in this ball game, but the stars are gonna have to align for Thunder Ridge to get back in this one, Larry.
A lot of things got to happen very, very quick, almost like as quick as having a kickoff return for a TD, which could happen. But they're gonna need to let out all the stops, whatever plays he's got hidden back in his playbook. It's time to bring them all out.
Scores 28-0. A lot of good people helping us out here. Smoky Hills Public Television. Big wave. He's got a good sweatshirt on too. Got a KU Jayhawks happening. I can say that now because it's college basketball season as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for your K-State fans out there, still got a great football season going on. So
absolutely. Hope that they go all the way.
Don't go too far.
Oh, yeah.
There's a kick in the air, and that is going to be through the back of the end zone. And it is going to be 1st and 10 Thunder Ridge at their own 15-yard line. So 28-0's the score. Thunder Ridge without a first down so far here in this second half. They only have 4 for the ball game.
And they're not used to that. That's not customary for the ball control offense. I mean, they've been stuffed. They depend on the run almost exclusively. We only had 34 out of 47 passes for the entire year. And now they're forced almost to go to those wide open games.
First down and 10, Kruger with Lowe behind him. He's going to option it to the right. He's going to keep it on his feet. Going to be brought down as he crosses the 20 up to the 21-yard line. He picks up 6 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4. Only the 3rd run of the ball game for Garrett Kruger for only 6 yards. That has been the story for Thunder Ridge. They have just not been able to rip off a big play. B&B hasn't had a ton of big plays, but they have gotten 3, 4, 5 yards a pop and have got in a 20-yard play here and there, and that's why they have a 28-0 lead. Lowe slips the tackle, still on his feet. Trevor Lowe, 1 man away from breaking that one. Haverkamp saved that at the 35-yard line, a pickup of 24 yards and a first down, and there's a big play for Thunder Ridge.
That's the biggest play they've had for a long, long time, since that long run by 30 and also that one pass past 30. So that's a great job there by Trevor Lowe. It kind of showed you a glimpse of what he's been used to be doing every game all year long right there. But up until today, he's been able to do that all the time.
You saw Haverkamp with the tackle. If not, I think Lowe probably goes all the way on that one. Kruger's going to keep it. He goes up the middle. He is wrapped up, still on his feet, and finds a way to lean forward. He's going to be brought down at the 37-yard line after a pickup of 2 on the play.
Reineke had a hold of his legs. At 6'4", 190-pound senior, number 22. He's had 42 tackles and a fumble recovery this year for the Falcons, and he wasn't about to let Kruger get loose and score, get very many yards.
It is 2nd down and 8. Shotgun formation. Kruger's going to hand it to Lowe. Goes to the outside. He is swarmed under and brought down, and even though he didn't make the tackle, Blake Reineke made that happen. A loss on the play of 3 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, Blake Reineke did just enough job just to slow him down enough where Trevor Lowe couldn't get a head of steam. And they got a new guy. He got 32 coming in there, taking place of Curtis Stollenbeimer, giving him a little
Gage leashing in on the into the ball game.
Old Gage leasing. And Gage had 42 tackles for the whole year up to now. He's 5'10", 175-pound junior. So he's getting a taste of that. Of course, all these seniors here for Baileyville, they've been to state all 4 years, and it's of course the 5th year in a row that's been to the trip of the title game here, and the 12th time overall. And 2 of the last 4 trips they've won it. So it's pretty sweet for these 6 seniors going to state in all their high school careers. Quite a rare feat indeed.
And Cade Dennis had to come out of the ball game for a play, so that brings Logan Miller in at center. Kruger throws one down there. Ritzky's out there, knocked away by Tyler Dieters. It will bring up 4th down and 11.
A great throw, though. A little bit off balance. It was a great throw. I didn't know how he got a lot of zip on the ball, even though that 4th down, like you said, 11 yards to go.
Not a very solid throwing motion, though.
No, it wasn't.
And that's he kind of has a sidearm throw, which inhibits him a little bit. But to his defense, they haven't had to throw the football much.
But to me, it's amazing how the Falcons have found a way. It's amazing how they've regrouped and since last year's title defeat, and how they've really come back to be dominant this year.
4th and 11. Kruger to throw again. Has a man wide open. Reed coming near side. Inside the 30, brought down at the 26-yard line. So a pickup on 4th and 11 of 17 yards and a first down.
And they desperately needed that one. But that was great play action. It was great play action. A little kind of drag him across the center and get him out in the open. And if you make a good throw, got a good catch, and Reed's got enough speed and agility that he broke it loose and got that first down, and they darn sure needed it.
Their first down of the second half with 9 minutes to go in the ball game. And Reed with the carry and muting, dealt with him a yard deep.
He had his number then, didn't he? I mean, I tell you, that Muty, he's had one heck of a tough game, that sophomore, hasn't he?
5'9", 185 pounds. He is going
Pure
to be
muscle.
Going to be a horse.
He already is.
Going to be a horse. Going to be a bigger horse.
He's a falcon, but I thought he was a mule. Been playing like a mule.
2nd down and 11. There's an option to the right. Kruger gets it over to Lowe. He's inside the 25 and is going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. So a pickup of 8 yards.
Guess who pushed him out too? Your buddy, 27, Muty.
71 yards on 22 carries for Trevor Lowe. And we're going to have a timeout on the field. We'll take it with you. 8:12 to go. 28-0 B&B in the fourth quarter.
The timeout went to the Falcons.
Boo! Hey, where are you going? You can't get by me. I'm number 1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm number 1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
8:12 to go fourth quarter. 28-0 B&B on top of Thunder Ridge in the 8-man Division II state championship game. Jeremy McGuire along with Larry Jansen is going to bring up 3rd down and 4 for Thunder Ridge after the run inside the 20 by Trevor Lowe. And Justin Cope wanted to take a timeout to talk with his squad, and they are meeting about keeping this game at a shutout pace.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a little bit concerned that they didn't have that little drag pass pattern across the middle covered it better than they did. And I bet he's reminding them some of those responsibilities on pass defense. So get ready to look. They might go out of his 3-3 stack or 3-2 monster, go back to that old 2-3-2-1 or the 2-5 defense.
So 3rd down and 4. Thunder Ridge would love to get some points on the board here to just spark some kind of life into this football team. Dennis is back in at center. There's Kruger, keeps it with some running room. Slammed down inside the 15, down to the 14. Picks up 6 yards and another first down for Thunder Ridge.
Is that their second first down this half?
Second first down of the half. That's
Wow.
number 6 for the ball game.
They're not used to that.
13 first downs on the ball game for the Falcons.
Well, here we go. Now we're gonna see what they got to do because that clock keeps on moving. They need to score pretty quick.
There's an option to the left. They get it to Lowe. He fumbles it. It's on the ground. Who's going to get it? And Thunder Ridge. Benton Rabbie got out there to get on it. And again, Lowe took his eyes off the ball, looking up the field, trying to see where he's going to run. And that's a loss of 6 yards on the play.
But it's a great job by Benton Rabbie, that 228-pound junior, to come back and pounce on that football and keep the Falcons from getting in. Kept some of the momentum alive, or kept some of the dream alive, but hadn't, like you mentioned, they got about 2nd and 16 to go, though.
2nd and 16 from the 20. Seems like Thunder Ridge is taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Kruger to throw. He's under pressure. Puts it up there. It is tipped. Incomplete. Nearly caught at the goal line. Yoxel was at the goal line. It went off his hands. Incomplete. 3rd and 16.
Now, to me, don't go for all of it, but try to get 7 or 8 yards this play and get 7 or 8 yards next play. So just throw a little flare out into the flat area, or use that drag pass that worked successful for that Reed kid a while ago. Maybe dragging across the middle. Let's see what Coach Voorhees kind of drew up for those Longhorns.
3rd and 16. The 2 receivers to this side are Yoxel and Ritzky. And there's a pass incomplete. That one was intended for Reed at the 15-yard line. And it will bring up 4th down and 16. And it just seems like this has been the story of the day for Thunder Ridge. They get close, then they back themselves up, and then all of a sudden they're facing 4th down and long.
Well, and they took out Mutig and took out Stahlbaumer now, and brought in a couple subs here. Defense keeping fresh people in there so they can kind of blitz or rush the passer, so they're not trying to give Kruger much time. And he didn't have hardly any time at all to make a decision and pass that ball that time.
So 4th down and 16. The ball just inside the 20, and a timeout's going to be taken by Thunder Ridge. So it's 6:54 in the ball game. We'll take it with you. 6:54 to go, 28-0 Falcons. We'll be back after this. Back at Fisher Field in Newton, Jeremy McGuire along with Larry Jantz. 4th and 16 for Thunder Ridge. Longhorns call a timeout, trailing 28-0, and not a ton of plays in the playbook for 4th and 16.
No, absolutely not. But I still think you got to have a quick little drag pass across the middle, or years ago, remember the old hook and ladder? Might be a good place for hook and ladder type thing, or you got to pull a rabbit out of the hat here.
So they will split Lowe to the near side along with Ritzky. Yoxel to the far side. Kruger is in the backfield, has Reed with him. Dennis will snap it back. It's a 2-3-2-1. Kruger pumps up, throws it down the field. A man's out there. It's tipped. Caught! Touchdown! An amazing catch by Trevor Lowe in the end zone. It was tipped and caught, and that is a 20-yard touchdown pass, and the Longhorns are on the board.
And that's probably how Voorhees drew it up. Just a little, a little tip drill.
Yeah, I'll bet. Hey, but you know what? The way things have been going today for Thunder Ridge, they will take anything they can get. The 20-yard touchdown pass, and all of a sudden, things are getting a little bit more interesting as Thunder Ridge will go for the 2-point conversion. With 6:47 to go, there's the pitch back to Ritzky. He's looking for the edge. Wow, he got rocked at the goal line. The 2-point conversion is no good. Dieters pushed him out of bounds, and it 2-point conversion fails. But I tell you what, that was one of the better concentration catches you'll see as Lowe came down with it in the end zone. You see it right here as Kruger throws it up the field. Tipped.
Tip. Oh, I got it.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, now it's going to be one of the more exciting plays in football, the onside kick.
Oh, absolutely. It's all going to be a live ball if it goes 10 yards. And the good hands people is going to be up front, Going to have the good hands people up front. Will it be a pooch kick over the top, or just you're onside the old conventional way?
Well, if you pooch kick it, I'd pooch kick it, or initially doing it towards the middle, and see if that wind pushes it towards the side and try and get the return team to...
You're getting tricky.
Well, I know, but you try and get that return team to adjust to something down the middle, and all of a sudden the wind pushes it. I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll see.
You're looking for that boomerang action on that football, aren't you? Huh?
Anything they can get.
Well, you want to have it kind of spin and come back over here so Coach Voorhees might touch it first. You think he'd come off sideline and get that?
No, I don't think so.
No, he won't do that.
6:47 to go in the ball game, though, and Thunder Ridge trailing now by 22 points following the touchdown pass to Trevor Lowe.
And look at there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Falcons up near the 10-yard line. Oh, there it is.
It's a pretty good bounce. It is going to be taken, though, and it's Tyler Dieters who picks it up and runs it across the 30, and it'll be brought down at the 32-yard line. A pretty good hard kick that time by Yoxel, but not enough coverage for Thunder Ridge with 6:42 to go.
Yeah, that kick had a lot of spin on it. It was going head over heels pretty fast getting down there. And the ball moved faster than the Longhorns to get down and try to catch it. So Falcons ball, 1st and 10 on the 32.
1st and 10, Rottinghouse. As Dieters behind him, Rottinghouse will keep it to the outside. He's hit and dropped. A good job coming in. The sophomore Logan Miller on the tackle. A gain of a couple on the play that will bring up 2nd down and 8.
Logan Miller and Larry Boyle on the stop.
Yep. Old Boyle. Larry Boyle. We've heard his name a lot today for good reason.
He has been all over. 2nd leading tackler on the team, and he's showing why today. Coming up on 6 minutes to go here in the ball game. Rottinghouse going to be reversed, coming to Dieters. Look out. He's on his horse, and Lowe's going to have to catch him. He pushes him out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Wow. Justin Cope picks one out of the bag of tricks.
Yeah, he sends his right in on an end around. Tyler Dieters, 6'1", 180-pound senior. And he showed you his speed, didn't he?
36 yards on the run, as you saw Lowe just get him out of bounds right there.
That's a little deception. Kind of set that play up. Had everybody going to the right, and all of a sudden here comes Tyler Dieters on the end around.
First down and goal. Ball spotted right at the 10-yard line.
Offset I formation.
Pass coming. Rottinghouse looking under some pressure. Dennis has him for a second. He's still on his feet, and he's going to be brought backfield. Finally, Benton Raby with the tackle and the sack at the 12-yard line. It brings up second down and goal.
Yeah, Dennis tried to get him. That Logan Miller tried to get him, and he's just a slippery rascal. That Rottinghouse kid got loose there and got back to almost the line of scrimmage.
Second down and goal from the 12. Rottinghouse is used to watching the back judge for a call on the play clock. This time it's Bergman. He is going to be hit by Dennis at the line of scrimmage. He might have picked up a half a yard. It brings up third down. 6 carries, 8 yards today for Brendan Bergman. Clock has now come under 5 to go. So third down and goal from the 12. No gain on that play. See if Justin Cope decides to throw the ball or if he's going to run it again to keep that clock moving a little bit more. Back to pass, Rottinghouse. Under a little bit of pressure, throws it complete to Dieters inside the 10 at the 7. Laramie Boyle right there with him. So a pickup of 5 yards on the play. It is going to bring up fourth and goal from the 7.
Bringing up fourth and goal from the 7.
Well, Thunder Ridge's fleeting hopes will ride on this play right here.
Absolutely.
The Longhorns need a stop.
Under 4 minutes to go.
Rottinghouse has Bergman in motion. He's going to roll to his right, looks back over the middle. It's incomplete, and there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, the back judge threw one. We got a little pass interference, I think. There. You didn't know who it was intended for. They had a cross action going between two receivers.
And that's going to be a pass interference that's going to be called against Thunder Ridge. It'll be half the distance to the goal.
That's interference. Defense.
That's just automatic first down.
That's an automatic first down.
Just what Longhorns did not need.
Only the third penalty, but that is probably the biggest penalty of the ball game because it's first down and goal now for B&B. Clock sits at 3 minutes and 48 seconds to go. And the Thunder Ridge faithful not very excited right now. First and goal, Dieters. He is stacked up. Logan Miller, the sophomore, right there with him.
Needed 3 yards for the touchdown. Maybe got 1 yard, huh?
He got a yard on the play. It'll bring up second and goal.
The tough yard by Dieters.
Second and goal. Just inside the 3.
B&B looking for another state title to hang on the wall.
And Coach Cope has overall at 78-29 win-loss record, 8 years at Gossel before his second year up here at Baileyville.
Second and goal from the 2. There's a pitch. Dieters looking for the edge. He is going to be hit. He is going to go down. A host of Longhorns there stop him. And a gain of about a half a yard on the play, if that. It's going to bring up third down and goal from the 2.
That's a great job by the Longhorns. Never say die. Keep the fight, try to keep him out of the end zone. Done a good job up to that point.
It's one thing you like about this Thunder Ridge team is despite the fact that they've been playing from behind this whole game, they have refused to give up. Yeah. Third down and goal from the 2.
No quitting the old dog, is there?
Rottinghouse to throw. He's rolling to his left. He's going to pitch it out there, and it's incomplete, intended for Mackey. Mackey was open. That was similar to the pass he threw to Haug, except to the right side in the first half.
And it was successful that way.
So an incomplete pass, that's the 22nd pass of the ball game. 12 for 22 so far in the game, 111 yards and a touchdown for Rottinghouse, and they're going to kick a field goal.
And Jeremy, that was the exact situation I told you about in the scenario of it's the toughest thing for a cornerback or a safety. Do I come up and get the quarterback, or do I stay back and cover receiver?
So Mackey
is on what?
Here's the kick. It's up, and it is no good. So with 2:17 to go, Thunder Ridge will get the football back as the the extra point, not an extra point, the field goal.
Field goal
was no good, and it will be first down and 10 from the 15-yard line for the Thunder Ridge Longhorns.
He didn't get his toe low enough on the ball to get it up high enough in the air. So anyway, first and 10 from the 15-yard line for the old Longhorns of Thunder Ridge. But 2:17 to go in the ball game, and they trail 28-6, but they have the ball.
So first down and 10. They need to make some magic happen quick. It's going to be reversed. Yoxel looking for some running room, came around the edge and went down in the arms of Jason Haverkamp with some help from the turf. It will bring up second down and 6.
Yeah, he was going a little fast like this, went around the curve right there, and his tires run out from underneath of him, spun out, I guess, and come down the turf for only a 4-yard gain. So Yoxel's a quick guy, too, if they can get Yoxel in the open.
He is fast. Second down and 6. And this time it's going to be Reed. He's going to try and get to the outside. He gets there. Makes one man miss, is going to be brought down as he is hit at the 33-yard line. He picks up 14 yards and a first down for Derek Reed.
He outmaneuvered old Blake Renicky over there and got him to the corner, and then the rest of it was history as far as getting that first down and moving the sticks, which Longhorns definitely need that to happen.
First down and 10. The clock winds with 1:29 to go in the game. Thunder Ridge is going to finish their season at 11-2. The Baileyville B&B Falcons going to finish unscathed at 13-0 and state champions. There's a pass intended for Trevor Lowe, and that's going to be a personal foul. That's going to be called roughing the passer, I believe, against Blake Reinecke.
That was a great job at Rottinghouse down there just to knock the ball away so that Trevor Lowell did not have a pass reception. Here we go, Mike Folk says.
Roughing the passer, White. Automatic first down.
So 15-yard penalty will be marked off against B&B, and another first down for Thunder Ridge with 1:15 to go.
Well, Mike Folk is the referee, and umpires Tom King today. Rodney Palin's the linesman. Line judge is Byron Palin, and then the back judge is Ron Tenbrink. We sure appreciate their services and all the years of officiating the high school sports, and they've done a great job.
Been a well officiated ball game today. Kruger gives it up the middle to Lowe. He's pushing, he leans, and he's going to be brought down just short of the first down. Picks up 9 yards on the play.
It's about time that I think Coach Cope might put in some of those younger guys that haven't played much here, because I thought he probably would, maybe not.
50 seconds left to go in the game. Thunder Ridge would like to do some cosmetic work on the scoreboard. Kruger, option, looking, runs, hit, drops, stall bomber there for B&B, and a timeout on the field with 34.7 seconds left to go. We'll keep it here. A loss of a yard on the play, and this B&B defense continues to swarm late in this ball game, Larry. They don't want to give up another score.
That's right, and there's, the whole year you got to figure there's 6 seniors that start on defense, had a lot of dedication come back. They start 1 junior, 1 sophomore, those 6 seniors, and the top 4 subs are all 4 juniors. So get looking for them to come back and be a strong contender again next year. These seniors this year, it's a fifth 5th year in a row they've been in championship game, 4 for them. So they went to the state title game all 4 years, and they've had 3 titles. And so people outside the locker room did not think they'd be very good this year, but it's amazing how they regrouped and since last year's title defeat to come back and retaliate a little bit. They're committed. They worked hard. They have changed positions for the best chance to get back to the title game. So it's been a great run by the B&B Falcons. So they're eager to get that bitter taste out of their mouth from last year, and looks like they're going to get that bitter taste out of their mouth.
So 3rd down and 2. Clock will run on the snap of the football. Kruger points Derek Reed over into a different spot. Yoxel lines up and they're going to throw it. There's a flag on the play. I think it might be
well, Rodney Palin threw the flag from over there.
I think it might be offsides against Thunder Ridge.
False start.
False start.
Yeah.
Thought they might have been offsides, but another penalty. That's 18 yards in penalties so far for Thunder Ridge.
The defensive, of course, leaders has been Dustin Dieters. He gets the defense and the correct calls and alignments on defense. You've seen that. He's just got a great nose for the ball. Falcons, the most improved defensive player all year long, Coach Cope told me, he said, was David Mackey. He's always around the ball making defensive plays with runs or on pass plays. So
here we go. Kruger to throw. 3rd down and 7. Heaves it down the field. Low is out there. It's out of bounds. Incomplete. It will bring up 4th down.
Pass intended for Trevor Lowe, incomplete. 4th down.
And he said, you've mentioned his name several times today, one of the biggest surprises for the Falcons have been that Jason Haberkamp, number 10. They moved him around from linebacker last year to defensive end this year. And that move has made added extra strength and an asset to the defensive line. So he's really stepped up to the challenge. So here we go for the Longhorns, 4th down and about 8.
Kruger gets a good snap. Throws it. It's tipped. Incomplete. And the B&B Falcons, Justin Cope out on the field to greet his team as they will win the state title in 2012. And I tell you what, there's something that will never be taken away in the history of high school, Kansas State high school football, especially Baileyville B&B High School, state champs 2012.
That's right.
And here comes a whole host.
And rightfully so.
And Jerry Voorhees is going to do the same thing on his side. And Justin Cope just got doused. He just got doused. I'll tell you what, that's fun stuff. Now, and exciting for these young kids that are coming out, getting ready to run a few plays for the Falcons. They will get to run them. And tell you what, with the wind blowing like it is today, that cold ice water, that wind's gonna cut right through you now.
It might cut through, but that ice will melt though. But you know, the defensive starters here today, normally for the Thunder Ridge Longhorns, they started 3 seniors, 4 juniors, and 1 sophomore. And the top 2 defensive subs have been 2 sophomores. So look for them to get stronger and come back. They know what it's like. Won state champ a year ago, runner-up this year. So the commitment, they'll go in there. They'll be tough in the old weight room this summer, and he's got a good thing going, Coach Voorhees. He'll get them back.
This is going to be the 4th title as the knee is taken on the field by Dylan Schmitz, the junior, and they won't have to run another play. And the B&B Falcons are celebrating. The Thunder Ridge Longhorns obviously disappointed, but a great season. They bookend their season with losses, but I'll tell you what, those 11 wins in between, nothing to hang your hat on, Larry.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great job, and nobody mercy ruled anybody. I mean, it's a tough, well-played ball game. The edge went to the Falcons on both sides of the ball, winning the line of scrimmage, which they had to do. They wanted to control the line of scrimmage, utilize their motion, and a little pass mixed in there, and they did a better job running their scheme than what took place toward the Longhorns today.
28-6, the final score. B&B over Thunder Ridge, the 8-man Division II state championship game. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, our state championship trophy presentations. Welcome back to Fisher Field in Newton as they prepare to present the runner-up trophy to the Thunder Ridge Longhorns. Trevor Lowe, Kate Dennis come up to accept the trophy for their team, and obviously a disappointing one to accept, but one that, you know, a heck of an effort by this squad all year long. 2 returning starters, but they come back and they get done what they need to get done to get to the state title game when, like you said, nobody expected them to be here.
Absolutely, and Jerry said all year long that they just worked real hard together. They trusted each other. They're good buddies. And remember, their roster, they had 6 seniors, 8 juniors, 6 sophomores, and, you know, as far as on their roster. And they'll be back because they started 3 seniors, 4 juniors, and 1 sophomore. And the 2 top subs come in was number 85 and number 50, your Logan Miller and your Nolan Billy. So they'll get stronger. You're going to have them 6 guys be your leaders next year to attempt to come back.
And I think they'll be pretty solid next year. I mean, you got a good group coming back, and you can see the wind blowing the flag there as it is been blowing hard all day long, and Thunder Ridge getting some team pictures taken, and there's the runner-up trophy. Trevor Lowe there, Benton Rabbie.
And you got to understand that, and for the Falcons, they had 6 seniors starting on defense, 1 junior, 1 sophomore, and their top 4 subs is juniors also. So they'll be strong again because this is going to put more fuel to the fire for them to get bigger, faster, and stronger in the weight room over the summer. And who knows, it might be a three-peat by these guys being back in there again, same teams next year. Can't count them out. And that's what the coaches want to do, is get back in there. All they want is the opportunity to get here. But today, the line of scrimmage is won by the Falcons from B&B.
And there they come to get their championship trophy. The B&B Falcons from Baileyville, our state champs 2012, the 4th state title in school history. And tell you what, that is something that never, ever, 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 ever gets old, is being able to display that state championship trophy. And their team been a team all year long. Justin Cope has done a good job of getting this team ready for this ball game. And you see the smiles on their faces. By gosh, it should be. They worked hard all year long, not just once the football season started, but in the weight room, worked real hard, and a good-looking squad there. As the B&B Falcons did go, they did fight, and they did win.
And he's pretty busy boy. He's a principal at the high school and kind of a co-athletic director and a head football coach. So Coach Cope is a pretty busy guy, and rightfully so, has done a good job. He says that, you know, one of the things earlier, Jeremy, was that Blake Reineke, number 22, the 6'4", 190-pound senior, he's the guy that keeps them loosey-goosey in the locker room. A lot of humor, a lot of jokes, got on fun on bus trips in the locker room, and he wouldn't tell me why, but his nickname is Mule to the team. They call him Mule, old number 22, Blake Reineke.
So B&B finishes their season at 13-0. Thunder Ridge, they finished their season at 11-2. Last year's ball game went to Thunder Ridge, 46-14, and this year it goes in favor of B&B by a score of 28-6. I think they're pretty excited. What do you think, Larry?
Yep, they are. And I saw some of the guys with shirts on had TNT on it, and that means today, not tomorrow. Well, they did it today.
That is exactly right. They did just that. And they are state champs in 2012. They're going over to greet their fans along the fence as they run along, give fives, because I tell you what, it takes a whole community to support this type of a squad and this type of a run. And the B&B Falcons are state champions. 28-6, our final score. Special thanks to everybody who made our broadcast possible, everybody on the camera, pulling cable, back in the truck. It's been a great state championship game, and the B&B Falcons are winners, 28-6. For Larry Jantz, this is Jeremy McGuire saying so long from Fisher Field in Newton.
Congratulations to all.